Good evening, party people, and welcome back to the Bar with an X, where you may be wondering, are we playing a video game? And despite what that logo in the back may imply, the answer is actually no. Tonight, we're just making cocktails inspired by the game that's on the board. If you can guess what that is, bonus points. But I'll give you a hint. It involves at least one of these three little cards here that each represent a recipe that we're going to be going over tonight. We've been actually playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the channel recently. We've been progressing through Riku's story currently, and we've gotten pretty much all the way through Sora's story, and I think we're pretty much on the tail end of the game. I don't know exactly how many streams are left, but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's what we normally do, is we jump into the world of the recipes that we pull inspiration from to create various different cocktails, mocktails, drinks, and otherwise. And there's also a shot recipe tonight of my own creation, but it's not just any shot. It's something that had a little bit of engineering put into it, because if it was just a set of layered shots like you've seen that stuff before, it's got to be a little more complicated than that. But that's what we got in store for you this evening. Tonight at the Bar with an X, I will be presenting to y'all 3 recipes inspired by 3 of the things that come from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I've got for y'all a sour type drink inspired by Riku Replica. The recipe is already on the screen. That's the first recipe that we'll get into this evening, followed by a sort of mind eraser separated riff for Naminé, who can manipulate memories in the game. And I've actually not only got a cocktail recipe for Naminé, but I also have a mocktail recipe for Naminé as well, taking out all the alcoholic pieces and replacing it with something that is a little more balanced towards things that, let's say, aren't liqueurs, aren't vodka, are something a little bit different. And then finally, we'll be like finalizing things with a layered shot recipe using some very interesting characteristics of some techniques that you can use on spirits that you have at home to create a layered shot inspired by Castle Oblivion, the multi-layered, ever-changing locale that is featured in the game, specifically Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And I think it makes a couple of appearances in other games too, but I don't technically know what those games are. I haven't done the research. I'm trying not to spoil things for myself. But as we find ourselves here, let's get things started with a cocktail recipe. Before we get into that, I'll greet some of the folks that have gotten here early. I see Cole Menez already there on the YouTube side, as well as Glorious and Estrella as well. It's fun stuff over here. This is gonna be great. Let's see. I see Cole saying pineapple and then a second pineapple, and so long as that pineapple is not upside down, I have no qualms with it. Glorious saying deaths times 9. We have a death counter for the game that we've been going through, and I'm not dying tonight. There's not enough alcohol in these recipes to kill me this evening. And I take that's the truth. That's the truth. That I won't be drinking all of these cocktails. I don't tend to do so during these showcases. And then I see Estrella saying, you liar. Gasp, my liar. I liar? What are you talking about? I don't think I'm lying. If I am lying, please correct me. In any case, let's get into a drink, right? So tonight's first recipe is Riku Replica, which is one of the characters that you see apparently throughout a couple of different pieces in the Kingdom Hearts series. This is Riku's, like, mind and soul put inside of, like, a fake body to manipulate Riku into going into the darkness, to really feed into all the dark things that happen in the game. But Riku's so far remaining strong in the playthrough and is not really giving into it, and has even gone toe-to-toe with himself. Technically, this is the thing that Riku is going toe-to-toe with, because it's the fake Riku. This cocktail recipe is a layered drink style, loosely based off of, or a very commonly inspired by the New York Sour, which is usually a sour recipe, whiskey sour, for example, with a red wine layer on top. Instead of using eggs in this cocktail recipe, I've opted for using Aquafaba, which is a protein vegan substitute that you can use for egg whites and various other drinks as well. There will be no eggs on the stream. Instead, I will only be using Aquafaba, and I need it for 2 of our recipes. So I'm gonna start off with making a little bit of Aquafaba. There's no recipe card for it, because it's very, very easy to do. So I'll show y'all first how to make some Aquafaba. I've got me a can of chickpeas, garbanzo beans. I bought them from ShopRite. In order to make Aquafaba, for the most part, all you gotta do is take the liquid in this can and separate it from the beans. And the liquid is the faba. So let's do that real quick. Got myself a spare bottle over here. We're gonna need this for the recipes laying ahead. So let's get to that first. There we go. Let's pop open this bottle. I'm gonna need to open up my can thing. I have 2 can openers, because one of these can openers I do not think works, and I've had problems with it in the past. So I'm gonna go for the red one, because the red one's giving me good vibes today. First, we'll open up a can of chickpeas. if I can figure out how to do it. I failed at this before. I hopefully won't fail again. I see Estrella saying, I started a 1,000-piece puzzle recently. Got a big portion of the bottom right corner finished so far. No way. No way. That's actually kind of wild because I was just considering doing some puzzles the other day. Yeah, this red one stinks. If you hear that sound in your can opener, it's not a good can opener. I'm not going to use that. I just have to use a different one. I see Cole saying, the bean juice. It is indeed. The juice of the beans. I'm going to go for the black can opener and hope that works a little bit better. Right? I see Siba on the YouTube side popping in saying, since last Friday, I've been stressed AF, and this is seriously helping. What part of this is helping, if I may ask there, Siba? Is it the drink? Is it the vibe? Is it the handsome devil of a bartender you see before you? Or is it the bean juice, which we call Aquafaba? And this thing doesn't seem to want to be working either in that direction. Hold up, hold up. We're making progress. No, we are not. That's incredible. It's... That's incredible. That's so funny. I decided to get 2 of them this time. It's slowly going. It's slowly going. It's not working very well. Me trying to open a can on stream. If anything glorious, I would consider this to be one of the deaths of this evening, but the death counter is not available on this particular scene in OBS, so there will be no threats of death this evening. None of it. Unless I decide to... unless I somehow cut my finger on this, in which case, that's unfortunate for everybody involved, because then we're just gonna have to end things, you know? Also, Siba, I recognize your profile picture. Who are you? Have you been around here before? Because I feel like I know you by another name. I just noticed the profile picture. All right, so I'm still trying to open up a can of garbanzo beans here because evidently both can openers are not working. And I find that absolutely incredible. I did, by the way, make Aquafaba to workshop this recipe, and one of these can openers worked. I promise you that. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. God, now I need a can opener budget. That's ridiculous. All right, let's very carefully take out this little. There we go. We gotta get the metal piece. Don't want no metal piece. Send it away. Send it away. How does that taste on its own? It's actually kind of savory. It's kind of savory. Aquafaba. Chickpea juice on its own. And all we're gonna do, now that you got your can open, I'm gonna put a little funnel over here. I'm gonna put it into this bottle. There we go. I'm just gonna separate my liquids from my solids. Just pour the juice in. Take all my beans out. There we go. And that fun-looking liquid is Aquafaba. And all I needed was a couple of garbanzo beans. Now, what you could do is you could also add a little bit of water to this, wash off your beans a little bit, try to get all of it in there. Don't throw away your beans. Make some hummus with them. That's what I plan on doing with my excess chickpeas. So, we try to waste as little as possible on these streams when we're making drinks and whatnot. So, on the one hand, you've got some Aquafaba. I'll label it as such. Aquafaba. And then on the other hand, we got some chickpeas. These make hummus. They can make hummus. And that's what I plan on doing with this. So I'm gonna take these and put them in my refrigerator. And I chew, and I will not forget about them later. There we go. Now that we've got all of our ingredients prepared, let's make a cocktail. Now, if you're going to store your Aquafaba, my suggestion would be to keep it in a cool place, specifically in a refrigerator. Now that you've opened the can, it's going to begin to oxidize, and Aquafaba, if it's left out for too long, can get a little bit weird. Its ability to create the foam when you shake it into drinks can also diminish a little bit. But the last time I used Aquafaba, it was good for about a week and a half or so while keeping it in the refrigerator. So this should keep for like a week and a half, depending on conditions. But if the conditions are right, I think it should work for you. So, let's go for it, right? I see Estrella saying, the puzzle is of 2 English Springer Spaniel, beautiful little doggies, who are staring into the distance. There's a yellow coat and a faux duck in the corner as well. That sounds like, I love the way that you painted that picture for me. Because I could picture both the dogs, specifically both the dogs and the duck in the distance. The yellow coat came in a little bit later, but that was very, very nice. Thank you for the explanation. So this is a shaken cocktail. And specifically, we're not going to add ice yet. We're going to dry shake this first. So add all of your ingredients to the shaker without any ice in it. I would say the first ingredient will be our Aquafaba, but I think I'm going to add the Aquafaba close to the last. Just because this is actually my first time using Aquafaba in one of the original recipes here at the Bar with an X, and it's because I'm just not as familiar with it yet. I'm much more familiar with egg whites in terms of how to use them in drinks, how to keep them, things to do with the egg whites, in comparison to chickpea juice. The Aquafaba, I'm less familiar on it. So I'm still kind of along the way of learning what to do with this and how to keep it and what the best practices are for Aquafaba. And it seems to me that if you were to apply the same rules to egg whites that you do to Aquafaba, you'll tend to dry shake the drinks that you use them in first before adding ice after the fact to give things an opportunity to emulsify, break up some of those proteins, which will create a nice foam at the very end. If I shake really good, this drink should look really pretty. And if I shake really bad, then it's still going to taste pretty good, but it won't look as pretty. And that's okay. We try our best, you know? First ingredient that we'll need is a little bit of black Sambuca. And by the way, for those of y'all who might be popping into a Bar with an X stream like this for the first time, what I'll tend to do for these cocktail showcases is I'll show you the drink, I'll talk a little bit about its inspiration, and then we'll move on to the next drink in the evening and continue going until we're at the end of our recipe repertoire. If anybody is curious about everything that goes into these drinks, the workshopping, the inspiration, and everything else, we actually have a bar blog, a cocktail blog with an X up on the CameroxnWithAnX website. And if you go there, there should be a thing called cocktails up there. And if you go there now, the Kingdom Hearts recipes are not yet there, but if you go into the description of the YouTube video, all the links are totally public right now, so you can get a look at those recipes, even while I'm making it right now, if you want. I really should have put them in the Discord too. I didn't, and that's something I'm still working on. It's an implementation thing, and I kind of boo-booed on that one. So for Riku Replica, we're gonna add 1.25 ounces of black Sambuca. Start with my ounce, and then go for my quarter. Black Sambuca is an anise type spirit. It's very, very forward on licorice flavor. And it also has a very appreciable bitterness to it as well, I found, especially while workshopping this recipe. I haven't really mixed with black Sambuca before in any of my original recipes, so playing around with this, especially during the workshopping phase, was a lot of fun. I didn't realize exactly how bitter it can be in addition to that sweetness. It almost has like a tongue, numbing effect. Which doesn't really translate super duper well into the drink recipe after it's all mixed and whatnot, but it's kind of cool, and I hope to use more of Sambuca stuff, especially anise-based spirits, a little more often, because they're kind of interesting. And they're all a little bit different too. Next, we're gonna add some dark rum. For this one, I'm going for a Bacardí Black on this one. Compared to some other dark rums, this to me has a note of char, almost burnt wood to it, that I don't normally get in other dark rums. A lot of other dark rums, at least from what I found, like Pussers or Myers, are very forward on molasses and caramel notes, and this is a little more burnt, a little bit more bitter, and I think it goes pretty well with the Sambuca in this case when I was workshopping things. In particular, rum and Sambuca, a really nice combination of flavors. So add 3/4 ounce of dark rum. Bacardi's the one that I'm choosing on this one. This will be fun. I see Estrella saying bittersweet. I would say that Sambuca is sweet bitter. There are some things out there that I would say are bittersweet, right? We were just trying some Malort the other day, and a Malort's not super duper sweet, but it's hella bitter. I would call that bittersweet, as opposed to articulating it a little bit different of saying more on the sweet bitter side. Campari, a very notable Amari spirit, is bittersweet. It's bitter, and then comes the sweetness. Whereas this black Sambuca, at least to me, is sweet and then bitter. If that made any sense at all. Next, we're gonna add some Blackberry Syrup. Now, usually, with my Blackberry Syrup, there you are. Usually what I'd like to do is walk everyone through all the different recipes that we make on the stream, especially all the ingredients as well. And I did kind of go back and forth thinking to myself whether or not I wanted to showcase to all y'all how I make some of the syrups here, like for example, this blackberry syrup, but it just didn't seem like it fit for here in particular. A lot of times when we're playing our games, we'll do a cocktail segment in the beginning where I'd be more than happy to go through the nuances of specific types of syrups, all the different flavors and different techniques that we do with it. But for the showcase, I want to keep more of the simpler ingredients on the backside. And if you're very curious of how to make these things, feel free to let me know, and I can pick out a recipe specifically from one of our normal like pre-game cocktails where I'll walk you through exactly how to make the spirit, where we have a little bit more time where we can sit around, chat a little bit, and talk about the nuances of exactly what we're doing. But just to give you an idea, this blackberry simple syrup was just equal parts by weight water and sugar into a small little pan. I heated it up only up to a point where the sugar just began to dissolve, and then I kept it on the lowest possible heat and threw in some blackberries, and once they begun to turn colors from that blackish purple color to red, I mushed it up on the inside and then strained the whole thing out and got a syrup that is devilishly maroon in hue. And it tastes really good too. I see Australia is saying switterbeet? Bittersweet? Switterbeet? I like that. I like that. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but I like that. So let's add some of the syrup, right? 3/4 of an ounce of blackberry simple syrup. That's a 1-to-1 simple syrup that you can make, and you just simmer in some blackberries, and it's all good. I see Armand Fritz saying, I can't hear you! I'm pretty sure you can. Is anybody else having those problems of can't hearing me? Because if you can't, let me know, and we can workshop that. You're on the vertical side. I see Annie popping in as well. Hello there. Hello there, hello there, hello there. Oh, let's see. Let's see, can't see anything. I'm trying to put my thing over here. I'm gonna put my thing over here. Let's see. I see Armand saying muted. I don't know what you mean, so I need some feedback on that. If I could have a mod pop over to the vertical side to check how that's going over there, because it seems that Armand's having some trouble hearing us. That, or we're getting somebody's gaslighting me. Let's see. We've got our black Sambuca. We got our dark rum. We got our blackberry syrup. I'm gonna add some lemon super juice, and then we'll add some Aquafaba on top of it. And I see Annie saying we sound fine on YouTube vertical. Max saying, thank you for the feedback that we're good on YouTube horizontal. Thank you. Props to YouTube, Max, for knowing that we got a horizontal and a vertical here. So Armand, turn up your volume. That's the problem. Now let's add some super juice. I'll go back in my fridge over here. Grab some of that. Like I was saying earlier, I don't want to spend too much time going over the nuances of some of the simpler ingredients that we use on the stream over here. This is lemon super juice, and I haven't technically covered how to make it just yet. There are some really great resources on how to make lemon super juice, lime super juice, and everything else. But for this one, again, if you're very curious on how to make it, it's not that difficult to make, and we did just get a new blender. So I could go into the details at some point if you're very curious about that. I'm all for trying to make more content of things to make things more digestible for people, because if you're like me, you don't really want to sit through a 2.5 to 3 hour stream just to learn how to make syrup, because I understand that and I vibe with it. So we're going to use a 1/2 ounce of this. A 1/2 ounce of lemon juice or lemon super juice. Lemon super juice is what I'm using. I'm trying to see if there's any particular difference between lemon juice and regular, fresh lemon juice versus lemon super juice. And I found that the lemon super juice lasted a little bit longer. The flavor is more consistent over time, but it's a lot more acidic and biting and a bit more drying. I've seen around a recipe for pseudo juice, which is supposed to be even more like lemon juice, less like super juice, and even better in all different locations. I haven't tried that yet. Not yet. And now, we're going to add some Aquafaba on top of it. And Aquafaba, for those who didn't pop in earlier enough, this is quite literally just a can of chickpeas that I've separated from the solids. This is the juice that's on the inside. And this is going in a cocktail. Chickpea juice. We need 3/4 of an ounce of this. Or about 22 milliliters for our folks across the pond. There we go. 3/4 of an ounce of Aquafaba. This is taking the place of egg white that you would normally see in sour drinks that have a nice foam on top, like this one. So I'll put my Aquafaba back in the fridge. Keep it on nice and chilly. We'll use that again later. It actually needs to make a little bit of space. Oh, my bad. Thank you. You're for now. Don't forget about it, Cam. There we go. Sorry, having some inventory management issues down here. Sorry, chat. Hold on a second. Patience is key. Excuse me. I think that all fit. No, it does not. Okay. Then I'm having problems. But if I put this on top of that, and then I put it over here, it's still not. Why is it not working? Okay, one more ingredient. Sorry, chat. I'll be back in a second. I'm trying to put things in my refrigerator. Why is it still not working? If I switch it back here, and then do this, why is it not? I'm so confused. This is really weird. Oh, that's why. Okay, I got it. The Aquafaba container is too tall. That was my problem. The container I literally just put the Aquafaba in is too tall for the refrigerator, and I think it's hilarious. Wow. Oh my gosh, work that body, scary feet? Oh, I missed that while I was underneath my bar. And jumping jacks? Y'all did me dirty over there. Oh my gosh. Max saying we gotta get you a bigger fridge. I got a little mini fridge back here. So I'm doing scary feet, right? Shameful. It took so long that you stacked them. That's so funny. I see Annie. I'll answer questions in the meantime. Annie's asking, what do you do with the chickpeas I would kill for some falafel right now? I'm gonna make some hummus out of them, actually. Because I think I haven't made hummus before. And so I'm actually not super familiar with Aquafaba either. It's the first time I'm using it in a drink recipe. And then I need half jumping jacks, which is me jumping up and down. So it's my first time using Aquafaba in a drink recipe, and naturally with the chickpeas out the other side, I'm trying to figure out the best use for them. I'm gonna try a hummus recipe with them and see how that turns out. I've never actually made hummus before, so we'll see how that works. Anyways, we've got all of our ingredients in our cocktail shaker, but there's no ice. We're gonna shake this without ice first to try to foam up that Aquafaba. So go for it. I see Max asking, quick question, is Sambuca an Amaro? Sambuca is not considered an Amaro, I don't believe. Exactly how they differ? Kinda trying to think about that, actually. We'll do a search on that. I don't believe that Black Sambuca is an Amaro. Also, the seal I wasn't holding this very well. So I got a little bit of my stuff, so hold on one second. Let me go real quick on this, and then I'll get to that. All right, I made a little bit of a mess, so I apologize for that. Let me kind of clean that up. But no, I don't believe Sambuca is an Amaro. Amaros tend to be a little more bittersweet, very forward on herbs, and I want to say Sambuca is a different style of spirit, but maybe we can learn something together. Let me pop the seal on this. Shouldn't be too difficult. There we go. Still got plenty of liquid in there. And we'll add some ice, and we'll go for it. I got winded by that. Such a silent shake, yeah, right? There's barely any sound on here. Let me see. Technically speaking, Sambuca Amaro? We'll learn together. Sambuca is an Italian anise-flavored liqueur, most often referred to as white Sambuca. Is it an Amaro? What is an Amaro? Ramazzotti, that does create Amaros, has their own Sambuca. So my gut reaction is, although it's not considered an Amaro, from the very initial searching of it, it might kind of be in that Amaro realm. I would say that at least the Black Sambuca I've got is not, the perceptible bitterness is low compared to that as such as an Averna or a Chinar or a Campari. It's more sweet, but it's sweet like sweet licorice. And licorice is bitter in certain ways. But I can see it being used. That's not to say, by the way, Max, that you can't use Black Sambuca in place of an Amaro in another recipe, like a Negroni, for example, or a Black Manhattan. And if you do try that, I'm not going to try it tonight because we've got some other recipes to do. I'm actually very curious of how that would go. I wonder if you could sub it out with more traditional Amaros. That feels like it could be a pretty cool little flavor combination. All right, let's add some ice to this. Woo! A little wet. There we go, that should be good. And now, we're gonna shake this with ice. And go for it. There we go. I see Estrella asking, how do you spell Amaro? You got it the second time. And then I see, ooh, what do we got? Gage asking, saying happy Wednesday. Somebody asked, what are my thoughts on pickled margaritas? If it tastes good, I got no problem with it. I've never tried a pickled margarita before. I kind of want to give it a shot. So now, what I'll do is I'll grab a chilled glass from my freezer, bring over the cocktail angle, so I can show you all. Riku, we're not quite done with it yet. We gotta get a glass first, and then there's one other thing I want to do with it. Oh. Here's a little chilled glass. Naturally, we're gonna do things like this. Let's grab the glass. Let's prepare our glass. I'm gonna grab one of these tiny little clips. I'm kind of winded, Chad. I'm sorry. We've only just begun. Grab a little clippy. Grab our Riku dude. We'll put him on the side so he can watch. He can watch as we create the cocktail that he is. Pop the seal and pour. Pop the seal. Pop the seal. It's getting there, slowly but surely. There we go. Pop the seal. We're gonna double strain this, by the way. Let's do that, and there's one other thing we gotta do to it. Pour number one. Oh, we got an ad going right now, which is really unfortunate. That's so sad. Anyways, we'll let that settle for a little bit. That's a really unfortunate timing for an ad. I really should have snoozed that one. I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm gonna float some red wine on this. You'll have to bear with me on that, because we're running out of time. Oh, that was bad planning on my part. I'll adjust my little guy over here. There we go. I see Anthony saying the color is beautiful. Tiny clothespin. I see that stuff. Let's see. So the other thing I gotta do, if I could have, I know that there are ads running on Twitch right now, but if you can let the Twitch people know that right now, if they're watching the ads, we're putting red wine over top of it. I gotta open the wine bottle, so we'll see how slow I am on that. Let's see. Can I open a wine bottle quicker than the folks who are watching ads can get back? That's the real question. Diamond, welcome in. I'm doing pretty good today. I got drinks. A little dehydrated, but that's why I got water. I see Anthony saying I'm late to the stream. What drink is this? Oh, Anthony, if you're watching, there should be a recipe card right on the bottom of the screen. Tap your screen, Anthony. The chat should go away for just long enough for you to take a look at the recipe. Wine opening any percent, dude, really? It's possible. Can I do it before they come back? There's still a whole minute and a half left. They might get me as I'm pouring the wine. But I got a red blend here. Probably should have opened this beforehand. Here we go. What else we got? Did I miss any things? I see Cole saying, damn, to become a cocktail. Oh, woe is it, unfortunate souls. Dude, his mind gets like freaking wiped during the game. It's freaking incredible. All right. Take your cork. I don't know. Do anything you want with it. I don't yet know what to do with corks, to be perfectly honest. And now, we're going to take our red wine, and we're going to float it over top, which I need a good angle for here, so. Definitely not me just stalling so that Twitch can catch up. Microphone over there. Let's go for it. Now we're going to float some red wine on top of it. This is Riku Replica. That red wine's pretty damn good. There we go. I'm gonna wait for a little bit. There's 10 seconds left on that ad. Can we get a close-up of the phone on top? Absolutely, Andy. That's a great idea. I see Max in expert float. Oh, that was a bad float in my opinion. I've done better floats before. Let's see how Riku looks on top. Twitch should be back now, so let's take a look, right? How's that looking? From this angle, how's that foam looking on top? Riku's just kind of hanging. He's like, what did you do to me? Where's Naminé? Where's Kyrie? That's what he's wondering. Anyways, that's what things are looking at right there. Pick's so swirly. Very good. I'm glad. We just got a picture of that too. If y'all missed the float on top, we got a little Photoshop. We got a little photo command that sends images right over to our Discord server. Everything you could ever want and more on our Discord server. So this is tonight's first cocktail, inspired by Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. I'm a little shaky tonight, but it's a layered cocktail. This is a cocktail called Riku Replica for the same character in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. It's a layered drink with a red float on top, with a little silver layer of hair, and a deep, bitter drink below it. Oh, Riku. Oh my goodness. That's lovely. It is a sweet drink. It is a sweet drink with those slightly bitter notes of licorice with a nice, like, conglomeration of fruity flavors. There's prominently black raspberry, not black raspberry, excuse me, prominently blackberry, a little bit of licorice. What else is in there? I'm trying to think. There's something else in there. It's almost a slightly bit savory, almost a little bit, and I think that's a little bit from the Aquafaba, and a little bit from that red wine that went on top. It's very, very tasty. I like this one. Wrong?
It's the Disney magic.
It's the Disney magic. Right. I was about to say. My wife was about to. I felt like a hit in my pride. I was like, "This tastes really good," and she's like, "Wrong!" I'm like, whoa.
Oh no! What's in it is the Disney magic.
What's in it? It's Disney magic, and specifically the memories of Riku and the subtle manipulations of. I think it was. I don't know if Naminé made Riku Replica. No. Vexen. Vexen made Riku Replica and other replicas. So this is a cocktail of Vexen's making, and nobody made this. Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm a nobody on the internet. Get it? That's why I spell my name with an X. Obviously. Duh. Is it making sense to you now, chat? Anyways.
I believe you.
I don't know. In any case, I see Cole saying, very beautiful colors. It's got a very nice mahogany wood color to it. Honestly, so you can't really see it too well in this light. I'm actually going to bring the cocktail angle over a little bit, because in certain lighting, that Sambuca is actually kind of purple. Oh, you can kind of see the purple. You can kind of see the purple on that close-up angle there. I wonder if I shine a little bit more light on it, whether that gets even more obvious. Let's see. There we go. This is what this color of cocktail looks like under really bright light. Like, really bright light. It's really cool looking, right? That's a good one. Amy Chow, welcome in. Been working. That's good. Make the bread. I see Annie saying good description. Anthony saying, wow, isn't that crazy? Isn't it wild how cocktails work? Make Alexa turn on all your lights red. Actually, if I did that, so two of the big lights in here are not connected to Alexa, unfortunately. But there we go. So this is what I've got for y'all. This is a cocktail called Riku Replica, and I'll give you a little bit of background of how this drink came to be, some of the workshopping that went behind us before we move on to our next cocktail of the evening, which is inspired by Naminé from also Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And not only do I have a cocktail recipe, I've also got a mocktail recipe as well, based off of your feedback of, hey, can we get some non-alcoholic beverages on here? I got you. I'm a mixologist. I'm not just an alcoholic. And I can promise you that. Because you know what they say about alcoholics? They don't have bottles of stuff. They have empty bottles that used to contain stuff. And if that Bar with an X inventory, which is now up on CameroxnWithAnX.com/stock, I've got at least 100 bottles of stuff. And you can see what's in it if you go to the website. It's half like inventoried, but there are a couple of things up there. I completely revamped the filtering. It needs better filtering, but I am working on that. I see BC saying, hi, Bruder. Hello, Bruder. That's one of my brothers out there. How are you doing, you beautiful soul? I see Estrella saying Disney magic with Disney Queen in the room. Sounds like a euphemism for something else. I mean, we do something else things on occasion. If you mention what those things are, you will be banned on the spot. So anyway, this is Riku Replica. This is a drink. Oh, a little exercise? Sure, dog. Sure. This is Riku Replica. This is a drink inspired by the Riku Replica character from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, and also Kingdom Hearts 3, I believe. He makes an appearance in all of those games. What I was going for this recipe was to evoke some pelvic circles. Oh my god. To evoke some flavors of dark fruit while not being super bitter, but a little bit bitter. So, because the darkness, as you give into it, is you can get kind of lost in it. The darkness can be sweet. The power can be overwhelming. But it can be kind of enjoyable, too. The layers of this drink are inspired by the colors that you see in Riku Replica's outfit. There's the little, like, red heart on his chest, the kind of black embellishment, but also the silver hair and the purple kind of breastplate stuff going on his outfit. I was really, really trying to workshop a recipe that had a purple layer, a red layer, and a white layer right up on top. And putting together a cocktail that has a noticeable foam was able to accomplish that on the top layer, the red wine float being that maroon color in the middle, and Sambuca, oddly enough, was purple when I took it out of the bottle, which I thought was really, really cool. The flavor of blackberry, I kind of built the cocktail's flavor profile around it to take most prominently, kind of take flavor notes from the blackberry, which worked really well with the other like dark red fruit notes in the red wine blend that I used. A blend because Riku's kind of a fake, in a way, Riku Replica. So I did that one because if I went for something that was a little more pure, let's say a Cabernet Sauvignon, for example, which I personally love, it didn't feel like it was it didn't feel as close to Riku Replica in particular, you know? What else have we got in there? Layered drink, blackberry. Also, there is a recipe out there by the folks behind the Experience Bar, like Experience Bar on your video game thing. It's another website that does video game inspired cocktails. And a while back, I had the Experience Bar's recipe for Heartless, and that combined black Sambuca with aged rum. And I was blown away by it. And it also used a red wine reduction. There are a lot of similarities between the Heartless drink by the Experience Bar and Riku Replica here at the Bar with an X. Although it's a bit of a different format, the ingredients are used a little bit differently, but I would be lying if I didn't say I took some notes from the folks over there at the Experience Bar. So for their Heartless drink, I made a Riku Replica with some similarities. I basically discovered that flavor of rum and Sambuca because of them, and thank you for that, because that was really, really cool, right? In any case, I see Brad saying twists and circles, please. I believe I did those. If I didn't, tell me. Diamond saying, did you fix the image zooming on it too much? Yeah, I completely fixed that. That was a really excellent piece of feedback, by the way, Diamond, because I was so annoying. I see Cole saying, give him a grass dress doing those exercises, some flaming torches, and he looked like a Hawaiian dancer. If I wanted to learn how to fire dance, I have to ask one of our community members, because one of them can really well. And then finally, I say Michael popping in, good to see ya. And Anthony asking, have you had Snoop Dogg's 19 Crimes? I haven't. Oddly enough, Anthony, when I picked up this bottle of 19 Crimes blend for the Riku recipe, I looked up 19 Crimes and I do some research on the recipes, I do some research on the ingredients that I bring to the bar, and I saw Snoop Dogg come up, and I was like, this is Snoop Dogg's wine? So no, I haven't tried it, but I think they do sell it at the store. Because I think I started workshopping these recipes, I think a few weeks ago, and when I got the 19 Crimes from the store, and then I found Snoop Dogg bottle after the fact, I went back to the store, and I did see that they have it there, but I don't think Snoop Dogg's is a blend, so I didn't use it for this recipe. And that is Riku Replica. It's so good. I love it. I like how there's a piece of this. Actually, we, and I haven't showcased it on the stream just yet, but I've been taking part in some fermentation exercises. And by that, I mean I'm making wine with a few friends of mine. And we just made this bottle of cherry wine that is currently still aging, and the little fermentary that we have. And I'm getting some interesting notes of almost that yeasty cherry quality that I got in the wine that we made in this drink as well. And I don't really know where that's coming from because I didn't get that note otherwise. But I think the Sambuca's bitterness and the kind of licoricey anise notes are kind of creeping up and coalescing into something that's kind of hitting a bit of nostalgia for me. That's really cool. That's really cool. Let's do a coaster I got this evening. It's by Honest John Bitters Company. It's a set of bitters that Brad got for us, actually. Not sponsored, but like, it'd be really cool if we were, you know? I'm gonna take my cards and put them out of the way. Oh dear, I don't want them getting wet. What's that?
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. If I can have a mod send us to the next recipe before we get on to the next drink of the evening, which is a cocktail and mocktail inspired by Naminé, we need to make another ingredient first. I'm gonna show y'all how to make coffee foam using a whipped cream maker. And I've got two of them because one's alcoholic and one is not. So let's go for that. Let me grab my ingredients. I dare not take them up in one piece because the last time I did that, I broke a glass. So two apparati here. I see Brad saying, I just wanted them simultaneously. You did great. Oh, for the exercises. Great, great, great. And Anthony saying, please try it. It's surprisingly good. The Snoop Dogg one? Roar! I wonder. I know we've got more Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memory stuff coming up, so I'm wondering if there's a red wine, if we can fit red wine into the mix. We might be just go to the store and just have it, or just like not do a cocktail at all, and we just sip on wine and just shoot the shit with each other, you know? If I can have somebody suggest the Snoop Dogg 19 Crimes, I will remember that. Amy Chat says, I was honestly guessing. Max saying, oh, finally a reason to use mine. Oh, you have one of these, Max. Oh, these ones are great, dude. These are really, really great. Anyways, let's get right into this. So for Naminé's cocktail, we are actually going to create one drink on the bottommost layer of Naminé and then put foam up on top. And I'm going to do this in 2 different ways. I got 2 different whipped cream makers, and we're going to make a coffee foam with each of them. One being alcoholic, one being non-alcoholic. And this is how we're going to do it. This recipe for coffee foam was something I didn't put too much effort into. I was mostly just trying to find a way to use, yet again, the Aquafaba in a foam recipe as opposed to a cocktail recipe. As I was mentioning before, I'm not super experienced with Aquafaba, which is basically just chickpea juice, but it can be used as a substitute, a vegan substitute, for things like egg whites in certain drinks, depending on what you're going for. If you shake it in a cocktail, you can get a pretty good foam on top of your drink, like this, for example. This is not the best foam I've had with Aquafaba. It can vary depending on the characteristics of the can of chickpeas that you happen to have. Technically, the colder it is, and obviously the longer you shake the drink for, the more heady that foam is going to be. I also put some red wine over top, so it kind of degraded the foam a little bit. But Riku doesn't need to have a prominent silveriness to him, just something that's relatively noticeable, you know? I see Anthony saying, thank you, sir. Sounds, oh, absolutely. And Amy has a real mod. Shake with ice? Shake, not with ice. Well, I think you're asking about the Aquafaba. If you're mixing with Aquafaba in a drink, if you're trying to get that kind of heady foam like you would for an egg white, I'm under the impression that you shake without ice first, which we call a dry shake, and then shake with ice after the fact, which I call a wet shake because nobody else has a proper name for it. Dry and wet, or like dry and moist, a moist shake, for example, but nobody wants me to say that. Or just like shake with ice. That's another way of putting it. In these containers, there will be no ice. Instead, we're just going to basically add a proportion of sweetening or base flavor, the coffee or coffee liqueur in this case, water to dilute things down a little bit. We don't need as much in there. Some simple syrup to sweeten things up a little bit, and then add a little bit of xanthum gum. And I just noticed there's no Aquafaba in the recipe, actually. That's missing from my recipe card. So if you'll excuse me a moment, I need to figure out how much Aquafaba I need to put in this drink. in the foam. I just noticed it's not in there. Whoopsie. Let me go to I probably have it on the CameroxnWithAnX website, /cocktails/Naminé. That's where I'm gonna go, because that's where I have the recipe up right now.
Put it up?
Yeah, the blog's already up. It's in the description of the video down below. And YouTube. Coffee foam. Yeah, I'm missing an ounce of Aquafaba. I totally missed that. I'm so sorry, chat. Let me put that into the recipe card real quick, and I will fix that. And I will try to make sure that I have that fixed on the YouTube description after the fact. We make mistakes sometimes, but luckily, I can update these recipes in real time. Because that's just how it be. That's just how it be. Let's go there, like a little adjustments to the streams, just to make sure everybody knows what they're doing if they're following along at home. There we go. Recipe card, Aquafaba, we got it. Aquafarbo? No, silly. Look at the recipe card. Anyways, let's go for it, right? All I'm gonna do is add all of these ingredients into these whipped cream makers, and then we're gonna charge it with nitrogen, let them kind of cool while I continue to talk about whatever stuff, make the drinks below, and then put them right up on top. It's gonna go great. I said it didn't, I see Estrella saying, I didn't know the water had a question. Aquafarbe? Oh, that's another language thing. Get me all kinds of confused. So, we're gonna make a coffee foam first. We're gonna add alcoholic ingredients on one, and then non-alcoholic ingredients on the other.
How can you tell the difference?
Because I'm going to write on these containers, alc and Na. Na and alc, although it just kind of looks like Ali. Prince Ali, Belly is he, is a coffee foam. I need coffee, and I need coffee liqueur. Luckily, I got a little bit of both of them. Go down here. On one side, I got this cold brew. I'm a huge fan of cold brew, so I'm using my own cold brew in this recipe. And then we got Mr. Black, one of my favorite coffee liqueurs on the other side. Put them close together. We'll need 2 ounces of each. Let's grab something, one of those. I see Imi Chow saying if we didn't spell check, we might have Aquafaba. Effed up beyond all repair. And Estrella saying Farbe, like German. Frage, it's Frage. Frage's question, Farbe's color. That's the one. I took a German class once upon a time. Once upon a time. Back before everybody was born, you know? In any case, so in one of our containers, we'll add our Mr. Black coffee liqueur. In one container, we'll add 2 ounces of coffee liqueur. And I'm gonna be honest, technically, I probably should have put the alcoholic thing in second so that it wouldn't taint the non-alcoholic stuff with the alcohol, but I'm the only person drinking here, and I don't really care what I put in my body. Not today, at least. Not today. Estrella saying, coffee liquor? One who licks coffee, it's true! Coffee liquor! And then on the other hand, cold brew. Can I pour this properly? Here's the question. That went surprisingly well. In the other container, just cold brew. There we go. In addition to your coffee components, we're gonna add some water after the fact. Some dilution. How's my coffee tasting today? Alright. It's going okay. I'll be honest. I swapped what beans I was using, so I bought the really cheap Fulgur stuff and made a cold brew out of it. I'm not really that impressed. Not really that impressed. It does well for the coffee foam recipe, but like in terms of like cold brew that I'd like enjoy, I'm gonna grind my own beans and get something nice and locally roasted is what I would do for that. Now we need some water. Look, I've got some in a glass right here. 2 ounces? 2 ounces. To each, we're gonna add 2 ounces of water. Same thing with the other one. There we go. I'm gonna go back in my fridge for Aquafaba and Simple Syrup, which both gets an ounce. I see Anthony saying, why not today, my friend? Today? Today? Today regarding what? With the cold brew stuff? Is that what your question was? Why not? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying to save money. We're kind of on a budget here with the Bar with the Next, so I went for the cheap stuff. Actually, while I was workshopping these recipes, I used instant coffee too, but that just didn't work. Because structurally, cold brew is completely different than the instant coffee. It did not want to work out. Even though I tried. But I might have misunderstood your question. Carrying what goes in your body. Oh, carrying what goes in your body? Oh, just because I've had both of these recipes. And I'm drinking both of them anyways, so that's the point of it. I didn't mean to say that I'm not taking care of my body today. Try to take care of our bodies all the time, which is why you will not see me drink all of these drinks. Care about that. I see that. I see Mad saying, just saw your simple syrup video. Are you one of the people who are gonna say that I'm an idiot for making simple syrup on, by the way, not a hot plate, a mug warmer? Because if you are entitled to your opinion, and I won't fight you on that. Anyway, so right now we've got some water and we've got coffee liqueur in one of these cold what is this thing called? Oh my god. We've got coffee liqueur in one of these containers and just cold brew coffee in the other. We're gonna add equal parts of the rich simple syrup and some aquafaba, both an ounce for each of these foamers. So then that's gonna allow us to make a coffee foam on top. It's gonna be great. Let's do our simple syrup first, which I just made more of the other day using the exact same method, but I kept the cap off. If there was one thing that I learned from that video putting out there, it was, so in the video, it is, I do not picture me unscrewing the bottle. And as a lot of comments said, you shouldn't keep a sealed container under heat like that, or it might, build up pressure and cause a mess. I get that. I get that. That's a very valid point there. Super valid. I see Mad saying, haha, no. That's great. It's very good. It's very good. And he says instant coffee option. It is an option, and I'll tell you in a little bit why it's not the best option for the foam. I'll kind of tell you a little bit more about my workshopping process for this one in particular. I did use the instant coffee in the beginning. To both of these containers, add an ounce of a 2-to-1 simple syrup. We're trying to keep things thick with this one. Both of these are getting an ounce. It's pouring very slowly, and that's exactly what I'm going for. My fingers are a little trembly as well, so my apologies. I don't know what I was doing. Something I was doing earlier. Probably just maybe a little... I added a little... I skimped on the syrup a little bit. I had a little drop in there. There we go. A little bit. There we go. I see BC saying, headed out. Love you, bro. Thanks so much for popping in, BC. I love you, man. Amicho says, fudge, the break is over. Gotta go. Have fun. Make good choices. Safe choices. Like having an alcoholic and non-alcoholic option for your drinks. Next, we're going to add Aquafaba. Aquafaba, Fab Aqua? I don't really know. If there's a proper way of pronouncing Aquafaba, I'm sure somebody will yell at me for it later. It tends to happen, and I love it. I'll go an ounce in both of these containers as well. So, to each of these containers, an ounce of Aquafaba. You can also use egg white. But this time, I'm opting for something new. Something new, exciting, fun, and delicious. And that's all the ingredients we need for our foam. Now comes the fun part, where you pressurize them. At least in my opinion, that's one of the fun parts. Gotta be careful. If I don't put these things back in properly, things don't do good. I also need to wet my hands a little bit because I got syrup all over the place, so excuse me as I wipe my hands. I see Estrella saying, with all these measurements, we might as well call you the Wizard of Ounce. Get it? The Wizard of... That's so smart, dude. That's a good one. If you're wondering where the hell the sound of the slide whistle came from, I love jokes. Good jokes get the slide whistle. It's good stuff. I love that stuff. Oh, man. I'm trying to clean myself off over here. It gets a little sticky on the show sometimes. But sometimes that's just the way I like it. Anyways. Let's see. I see Anthony saying, I find the foaming scary. Yeah, they can be a little funny sometimes. Let's see, I don't need this anymore. Actually, I will need this a little bit later. I don't need to reuse this. I have plenty of measuring jiggers. I'll just grab another one when I need it. Oh, man. I see Diamond saying, I want to say something, but I don't want to get political. No politics here. I know there's a lot of hard feelings no matter what side that you're on. But I ask you for the sanctity and cool vibes for everybody else around here. Let's try not to get political. Tensions are high, at least here in America. And I think it doesn't matter what side that you're on. Anyways. I see Madsen, I feel you, Anthony. Loading the capsules is the scariest part for me. Oddly enough, one of the things that I'll offer as a word of, it might make you feel better about the foaming process, is if you use name brand whipped cream makers, is specifically the brand is EC or ISI. I don't know for sure for other brands. These are not EC brand whippers. They're just ones that I picked up on Amazon for like $20 or so. But EC whippers and hopefully other whippers are milled in such a way that if the pressure fails in the container, the worst thing that is going to happen is it should send liquid shooting down the sides of these foamers and not explode or make a mistake. I cannot offer the same guarantee that EC does for off-brand whippers, but if you are concerned for stuff like that, it is a totally valid concern, which is why I caution people from charging it more than once, really caution you more than 2 times, because sometimes we do double load these things. In this case, I'm only going to use one. I didn't need to use a double charge for these ones. But naturally, there are various different options no matter what you do. I'll leave it at that, right? Anyways. I see Diamond saying, agreed, I'm gonna not state my opinion on pineapple pizza. I love pineapple pizza, and if that's political. Pineapple on pizza sucks, but it's not political. Yeah, what the heck, dude? Come on, you know what's happening in America right now. That's gaslighting. I'm gonna say that's gaslighting. I'm so tempted to be like, time out Diamond for a second. Not for the pineapple on pizza. There's no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Yeah, I see Anthony said, I'd buy the cheap whipped cream makers from the smoke shop. Yeah, that's fair. All right, just for my sake, I try to make sure that these are on more or less as tight as they can be. These are going to stay under pressure. When we're making foam in these things, we're not depressurizing the container completely and opening it back up. We do that for infusions, though, but there's no infusions here. So Pikachu usually keeps these little whippets. So I grabbed some from behind him. Let's charge these both, shall we? One has alcoholic ingredients. One has non-alcoholic ingredients. Charge them both. Charge number 1. And you charge number 2. Charge number 2. For both of these, we're gonna give them a nice shake. They don't make a lot of sound. And please note, the bottoms, the little nozzles, are pointed away from me. There we go. And for the most part, if you're trying to conserve the foam and make sure that it stays good, you would put these in a refrigerator. I don't think you can put them in a freezer. I'd have to go back to my reference books on that, but putting them in the refrigerator is totally okay. I don't have space in my refrigerator, so instead, these are just gonna sit off to the side as I build the other part of the drink. So, naturally. Could I have a mod use the next command as we move on? Oh, you know what? I completely... Oh, you know what? You know what I just forgot? I forgot Xanthum Gum in there. I completely forgot the Xanthum Gum. I just charged up these whipped cream makers, so I'm not going to put the Xanthum Gum in there. But if you want a more sturdy foam, you can add a ½ gram of Xanthum Gum to this so that the foam is a little bit more structurally stable. I completely forgot to do so, chat. I'm so sorry about that. But if you look at the recipe card, it's got all the ingredients you need, and it now includes Aquafaba. Whoopsie! Anyways. I see Mads and Anthony basically saying, Mads saying don't put them in the freezer. Anthony saying, I put them in the freezer and it's okay. You just have to burp it a little bit at first. Yeah, there are various different cautions that I would give, especially if you're using brand or otherwise. If you're comfortable putting it in the freezer, you can put it in the freezer, right? I guess the worst thing that happens is it, depressurizes and explodes. But technically speaking, because things tend to contract when they are colder, the container will contract, but the liquid on the inside, the gas and whatnot, is also going to contract. So exactly how that works from a physics perspective, I'm not a physicist, but, you do what you do, You do what you do. I see Brad recollecting that the mod crew tonight is absolutely great. All y'all are great. I'm gonna get some more water for myself over here. Give that foam some more time to go. And now, let's build the alcoholic version of Naminé. And that's on the next recipe card. For both of your Naminé recipes, we're gonna fill these containers almost all the way up with ice. Almost all the way. There we go. Almost. Almost. If you want to serve these with a straw, now would be the time to put the straw into the container. For our alcoholic Naminé, we're basically making a vodka soda. To make a vodka soda, grab vodka, and I'm gonna grab some soda, which has been chilling in my refrigerator. Naturally, I've got 2 of them. Obviously. 2 of them, right? There we go. I see Anthony asking, favorite musician or band? My father's my father and my brother are my 2 favorite musicians. Band, Angel for my dad, and my brother's not in like a specific band. Does a lot of work, but Moondog's the guy that he plays music from. Favorite music to listen to? I'm a video game music nerd, so it's all over the place. I've been listening a lot to C418 lately, who does the Minecraft soundtracks. Love those guys. Love that guy. So on one side, we're gonna add vodka. 2 ounces of vodka for alcoholic Naminé. And then we're gonna top that with soda water. So on the next recipe card, I probably could have done this a little bit better, by the way, mods, so I'm sorry about that, but the next recipe card has the non-alcoholic recipe. Both get topped with soda water, so just remember that for just a brief moment. Just a brief moment, I see Anthony saying, completely valid, Mads on the... I've seen pop cans explode, so I figured it'd be similar. Mads, you know what's funny? I've seen pop cans explode too, but not for the reasons you may think. I built a propane forge and a charcoal forge when I was younger, and we would put metal cans in there that had been emptied, and once upon a time, my friends and I thought it'd be a really funny idea to put a full can of soda in there. I would not recommend doing that if you value your life. First of all, exploding cans, shrapnel. Second of all, molten metal. Wouldn't recommend it. In the non-alcoholic recipe, we're gonna use some simple syrup instead. So instead of the non-alcoholic version of Naminé being close to the vodka where we just put a bunch of seltzer on top of it, we're gonna sweeten things up. Because in comparison, the cold brew coffee has significantly less sugar in it than the coffee liqueur would. So we're gonna take some of that sweetness and put it into the bottom layer of the drink to kind of even things out over time. We'll need 1.5 ounces of simple syrup in our non-alcoholic recipe. This is a very thick syrup, so when we pour our Topo Chico, our seltzer water on top, we're going to stir them real good to get all the layers nice and homogenized before we put our foam up on top. I see Mad saying, oh god, boiling soda. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude. I see Nihivi saying, you might enjoy the soundtracks by Thomas Dvorak, very similar to C418. Dude, C418 is great. I love C418. I legitimately just had them on repeat today. As I was doing my my engineering work earlier today, which is just programming. It was very boring. It actually wasn't very boring. I shouldn't lie about that. It wasn't boring. I felt like I was hitting my head into a brick wall, programmatically speaking. I also did some work on the website today, which is also hitting my head into a brick wall, programmatically speaking. Do I have any fellow programmers out there? Because you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Oh man. We're gonna put soda water on top of both of these. That was pretty cool. Never done it so quickly before. All right, so let's do, how do I want to do this? How do I want to present this? Here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring the cocktail angle over as I pour the soda water over top, specifically for the shorts. Is that vodka? This has vodka. This is vodka. There we go. This is specifically for the editing that Cameron has to do after the fact. Top this with soda water. Top them both with soda water almost to the top. Leave some room. Extra Topic Chico for anybody who wants it. Now what we'll do is make sure these layers all are nice and chilled, put together. Kind of like what you would like a highball, if you're trying to keep your glass chilled, keep all your liquids chilled. For the vodka soda, it's to make sure the vodka gets really cold. And for the non-alcoholic one, it's to make sure that that syrup gets combined properly with everything else. Because it's kind of syrupy, so it kind of sits at the bottom. I see Diamond asking, best C418 track? Best one? I really like... I think there's one on the album that's got the orange cover to it called The President is Dead. Totally unrelated to everything going on in America right now. But I really like that particular track on C418. I don't remember what album. It's called Excursions, I think is the name of the album. Yeesh, what an unfortunate time to ask that question, Diamond. Anyways. Let's see, Nahivi saying, also a programmer. No way! Gotta love web dev. Yeah, it's my least favorite part of deving. It's web dev is the most recent, like, development work that I did. Usually I'm a firmware developer. I do a lot of Bluetooth work, actually. RF programming work. I'm inclined to think in moments like this, if you're making a soda-based beverage, you can use a 1-to-1 syrup because the viscosity on a 2-to-1 syrup is going to kind of bite you in the butt. Anyways. Anyway, now that I'm actually still got this up on the angles, so we're just going to keep it that way. Naturally, we're going to garnish both of these with some coffee foam, but also, I got these little clippy dudes. And I got to put Naminé on them. It's great. These recipes all get their own little cards. And if the Bar with an X were a real place, you absolutely know that you'd be able to take these cards home with you. And they would be waterproof, but these ones are not. So let's see. This is the alcoholic one. So we label it as appropriately. How's Naminé looking? There we go. And then non-alcoholic Naminé. I've broken these little things apart before, so I'm trying to be a little dainty with them. There we go. There we go. How are they looking? It kind of looks really funny. It kind of looks really funny that they're like right next to each other, almost like twins. That's hilarious. I see Estrella asking, have you ever heard of Wizard with a Gun? I have. And now, for both of our foams, we're going to invert these containers and apply our foam on top. This is the non-alcoholic one, and this is the alcoholic one. So let's go for it. Let's see if I can do them both at once. And this is Naminé. Also, how are these tasting? How are these tasting? Well, don't put the... Okay, I'm not going to put that on my mouth. Do not put these things close to your mouth. Do not do what I was about to do. Instead, get a little cordial glass. How are these tasting on their own? Cordial glass, alcoholic. Sweet coffee, almost like ice cream. I'm gonna have the other one. Oh, I just realized the folks on the vertical can't see what I'm doing. Here we go, we're back. Non-alcoholic. Ooh, a little more foamy. Oh, dude, that tastes like tiramisu. No, not tiramisu. Sorry, no, not tiramisu. Almost tastes like a liquid cookie. I love that. That is so smooth. The non-alcoholic foam, I think, is better, actually. That's really freaking tasty. Wow, my goodness. Anyways, let me put these things away. I don't need these anymore. This is what we have, y'all. I've got 2 Naminé drinks. 1 alcoholic, 1 non-alcoholic, inspired by Naminé, the character that you see in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Let's go for Naminé number 1 and see how she tastes. Woo! That's biting. It's a vodka soda with sweet coffee foam on top. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's latte-like, but if latte were boozy, if you take all of the texture elements, or let me think of it this way. If you took, it's kind of espresso martini-like, but not as potent on flavor. And it's also separated. So you have to kind of gotta go deeper into it, you know? Pause? Wait, pause? Labe says, "Hi Cam, stop tasting a child." Oh, excuse me, shouldn't do that. Anyways. Pods? Ads? Do we have ads? I don't think we have ads yet. Not yet, maybe? I also missed a couple of chats, hold on. Cocktail's looking great, saying Cole. That's adorable, saying Matt. Thank you very much. Did you know the same person who made Shadows Over Loathing made the soundtrack for A Wizard with a Gun? I didn't know that, actually. And I see Abe saying, just got off of work. Good to see you, of course. And Abe is funny. People are too fast on the pins. So before the foam degrades, this is the non-alcoholic version. Ooh. Light and coffee-like. I could say that tastes like a little coffee soda. Very light on the coffee flavor, by the way. Very light. That's really pleasant, actually. That's very, very pleasant. I see Glorious popping in saying hi. Didn't we see you earlier, Glorious? Where'd you go? Or am I thinking of someone else, maybe? Anyways, so these are 2 cocktails, both called Naminé, 1 alcoholic, 1 non-alcoholic, and I'll give you a little idea of how this cocktail came to be. It's actually a very simple one. Naminé in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is a person who has the capability of manipulating memories, quite literally erasing the links between the chains of memories in the video game, which I think is really, really cool. Oddly enough, there is a cocktail out there called the Mind Eraser, which when I thought of the Mind Eraser and Mind Manipulator, I was like, that's a parallel if I've ever seen it. So this cocktail is a Mind Eraser, which is usually coffee liqueur, vodka, and club soda that's been kind of deconstructed and reordered in terms of the layers that are about them, with a nice blonde coffee foam on top and a usually more or less clear layer down beneath. I omitted by accident the Xanthum Gum in this recipe for the foam that goes up on top. The Xanthum Gum is what gives the foam a little bit more structural stability and makes it so that these layers stay more or less completely separate. If I included the Xanthum Gum, there would not be this much bleeding of color down into the bottom of the drink. That was a mistake on my part. But in the short that comes out after the fact, I took a photo shoot of all these different drinks, and there's also a photo of how the drink should look on the CameroxnWithAnX website and the cocktail blog as well, if you want all the details of how this drink came to be, and perhaps a little bit extra. I don't make money off of that website. It's got no ads running on it. I never intend to run ads on the website. That is there specifically because I want to spread the joy and wonder of drink and cocktail creation with the world at absolutely like no cost, because that makes no sense. I might put out a recipe book one day though, just to bring in some more money to the bar with an X, purely based off of support. Naturally, the website's going to remain free, so at least for all intents and purposes. So, I see ESC Nerd saying hi from Australia. It's good to see you. I just turned a thing upside down under. Not that that joke is necessarily appreciated, but it's good to hear from you, Australia. I see Dash Doger saying, what are you? A human being with earrings and a bow tie and who plays bartender on the internet. Does that answer your question, Dash Doger? I see Mad saying it's okay, I'm sure the taste all amazing. Glorious saying I said 39x deaths before the stream started. No deaths tonight. And Anthony asking, do you cook at all? I do. I like cooking. I don't do a lot of cooking. Mostly because it's not the content that I wind up doing. But at some point, I'd love to have a nice angle down in our kitchen with an X, which is basically the dungeon, to do more. My wife and I, we take turns making dinner. So I do cooking half the week, and she does cooking the other half of the week. So, do I cook? Yeah, I did. Anyways, so those are our two Naminé recipes, and that's the second drink inspiration for the recipes this evening. So next, we'll do something after the fact. Elway Magico, just walked into the bar. Have a seat, Elway. It's good to see you here. You have a seat at my bar anytime. I've got one more recipe that I want to share with y'all this evening, and this one is actually a shot recipe. So it's going to be a more or less quick one. So stick around for it, and I'll show you all the magic that happens. It's not necessarily Disney magic, but actually, it is Disney magic. If anybody asks, it is definitely Disney magic. Definitely Disney magic. And a little bit of Square Enix as well. I'm going to take my whipped cream makers and put them off to the side. Grab some coasters for these. I've got 2 coasters from Thirsty Dice, which is one of the board game cafes here in the city. Naminé 1 on top of over here. Naminé 2 on the other one. Can you all see them from back? Yeah, you still can. You still can. Riku's not looking super happy, but that's just how it is. Let's see. I see Dash Doger saying, "No, I mean, what kind of e-clown? Oh, you said bartender? I used to bartend that, and then I had a failed suicide. Now I work in IT. Oh my gosh, I hope you're okay. I hope the IT is working you a little bit better. I'm interested about your bartending experience if you're willing to chat on that. I see Cole saying it's always Disney magic, and Mad saying Dash Doger, he's just hanging out making drinks. I mean, I'm a clown. I do comedy stuff. Here's a joke. Forgot the joke, but Estrella made it earlier, and I was just gonna steal your joke, Estrella, but I completely forgot what it was. That's so funny. Anyways, I got one more recipe for y'all this evening. If I can have a mod put us to the next recipe card, I need to get a couple of things prepared, I think. This one should be a quick one, but... sometimes things go a little unexpected, you know? Anyways. I see Elway Magico saying, I think I landed on the correct channel. I'm on the mood for a Disney RPG themed drink. You would be in the right place. What kind of Disney themed RPG drink? I was going to say, which Disney themed RPG could you think of? But I guess Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts technically works for that, you know? Oh my gosh. I see Doger saying, I'm going to dash out. I'll be back. I sent a sub. Oh, nice. Thanks so much. I hope to see you back here again, Dash Doger. Have a good night. That went dark. Diamond. Oh my gosh. But I don't know where we're going with that. That's hard to keep up with chat sometimes. Anyways, so there are technically 2 recipes I've got left for you. One is one of the ingredients that goes into Castle Oblivion, which is just a shot. It's just a very simple, very small shot recipe. But I wouldn't give you a shot recipe if it didn't have. There's Dash Doger. There it is. What was I saying? I wouldn't give you a shot recipe if it didn't involve some sort of technique that elevates the ingredients that go inside of the shot, or something interesting to get us there, such as inspiration from the game. I, for one, the drinks that I try to do here at the Bar with an X, try to take the video game elements that we find in the games that we play and bring them to life in ways that are just kind of attempting to piece something real from something that might not be real. And this shot recipe actually uses 2 of the same ingredients in 2 different ways. So the first layer of this drink is actually a clarified liqueur, specifically this bottle of mint chocolate chip cream liqueur. This is going to be both the first and the final layer of the drink, but we have to do something to the ingredient first in order to make the density work out properly. I'll go into details in a little bit of that. I see, oh yeah, thank you for that, Annie. Everclear saying Cole, great mod, great mod. Always great mods all around. So honestly speaking, chat, it took me a while to workshop this recipe, and I tried to make sure I had enough ingredients prepared for the stream, and I am very, very low on this ingredient. So instead, I'm gonna give you the instructions on how to do this in full amounts, and then just do a very, very quick example of how this would work, and then I've got the clarified ingredient already prepared. But I'll tell you how you can do it, and more or less all the instructions that you would need to be able to create it, although I can't specifically make it for you this evening. Otherwise, I wouldn't have enough liqueur left over for the rest of the drink, so. Anyways. I see Little Abe saying, love that bottle of Little Smoky. That's because it was a gift from you, Little Abe. I remember that. Thank you for that. I see Anthony saying, have you ever had Alpha Omega wine? No, I haven't. What is that? I don't think I've heard of that one before. But anyways, so what we've done with this bottle of Old Smoky can be done to pretty much any cream liqueur. And I'll do a very, very small example of it, and I'll bring the cocktail angle over, so hopefully we can get an idea of what's happening over here. You can take more or less any proportion of a cream liqueur, like Old Smoky, for example, or let's put a few out there. You can take rum chata, you could take Old Smoky cream liqueur, you could take Bailey's, and you can put a little bit of it in the ratio of 8 parts to 1 part, in my opinion. If you're using that particular ratio, 2 ounces of your cream-based spirits, and add I think it was a half an ounce, right? Half an ounce of something sour, like super juice on top of it. So as you can see right here, there is a very, very opaque looking layer of drink. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my lemon super juice, which is basically the same as lemon juice, and I'm gonna add just a little bit to this. And if you know about physics and chemistry, you know what's gonna happen. Let me see if I can get this a little bit closer, and hopefully you can see what's happening here. 1 second, I'm gonna stir. I see Anthony asking, it's my family's winery, can I please send you a few bottles? If you want to. You wanna send me wine? I have, reach out to me via DMs. Instagram or Discord is totally fine. But if you want to send bottles, I'd love to make some cocktails with them, Anthony. So let's see. Right now, it's a little less opaque than it was before. Right now, what's happening is this is curdling. Ever so slightly. You can kind of tell when I bring this up. It's getting a little thick. It's getting very thick. And that's exactly what we want happening. Exactly what we want happening. So I'm going to try to give you a better view of what's going on inside here. Let me adjust the cocktail angle over a little bit and see what's happening. Better angle? There we go, better angle. Cringe warning, by the way. This is an icky warning. This is curdling. This is curdling. That's what's currently happening. This looks suspicious, saying Mads. You're absolutely right. It is very suspicious. But what will happen once you add your cream liqueur to your lemon juice or super juice or something else that's citrus, once you add your cream liqueur to acid, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to, whoops, something fell in there. You're going to need to take this and put it over a coffee filter. Let that begin to filter as long as it takes for that solution to come out clear a little bit. It's gonna start coming out a little bit cloudy, but once it starts to come out clear, take your filter, put it into a different container, and take the cloudy first liquid and put it back over the top of it. I've got a video right now on Shorts and on Instagram and TikTok and wherever you get your vertical content from for a drink called Simple and Clean, which is another Kingdom Hearts inspired drink. That recipe, I show you exactly how to do this clarification. The only difference is, in that case, I did it with a whole cocktail. In this case, I'm only doing it with an ingredient. But if you follow all those instructions, you will get, here it comes, a liquid that comes out clear. Totally clear like this. This is the exact same thing as this, but after it's been filtered for a little while. And it causes some really, really cool, like, mixology magic to happen. That's how to make, first of all, clarified mint chocolate chip cream liqueur. I'm inclined to think that you can do this with literally any cream liqueur. If given enough time, you can make it come out the other side more or less perfectly clear. And actually, I'll put my money to where my mouth is, because we had, for the Pumpkinhead Keyblade drink, which we also did during our Kingdom Hearts 1 cocktail showcase, used a pumpkin spice cream liqueur, and Imicho and I were working on clarifying that too. And that cream liqueur was also clarified, and I have yet to figure out what the hell to do with it. So, and Halloween's over, so I'll leave that at that. I see Mad saying, are you horizontal on Twitch? I am. We've got 2 streams on YouTube. One is horizontal, one is vertical, depending on what your viewing pleasure is. On Twitch, we are always horizontal, because I don't think we have any other options for Twitch. So let me do a little bit of cleanup over here. If I can have a mod switch us to the next recipe, this is our final recipe of the evening. I'll show you how to make Castle Oblivion, the layered shot, using that clarified cream that I just showed you how to make. Oh, that's what fell. My enzymes. My Pectin XPL Ultra. Anyways, I see Gloria's asking, would you ever play a game called Crowd Control? I think I saw that one. Is that the one where you've got the people standing in front of the sign, and whatever the sign displays makes the people do other things, right? Is that called Crowd Control? Or is that a Twitch thing? That's a Twitch crowd control thing. I can't remember. But yeah, probably, right? I see Mad Sid on my G High horizontal chat. Yeah, there's 2 of them. All discoveries happening. Let's see. This is how to make Castle Oblivion the shot. So I'm gonna put this away because this is a gross mess. If you're wondering, by the way, how the mint cottage cream tastes, it's like mint ice cream. It's actually very bitter. Something that is very bitter. Oh, I know why that's bitter. Wait, I know why that's bitter. This is not usually bitter. I did a clarified Malort thing the other day, and I don't think I cleaned this very well. Oof. That's pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. That's not that bad. It's like a slightly sour mint chocolate. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is, actually. That's not too bad. I see Gloria saying, no, a game with crowd control. It's not a game. Oh, a game with crowd control. People pay money to help or mess up with the game you're playing. I am considering something like that. And if you want to know exactly why I'm considering it, I would encourage you, I'm not going to tell you yet, but I would encourage you to join the Discord for something that we'll be announcing hopefully very soon. Hopefully very soon. That's all I'll say. And he's saying maybe Jackbox? Maybe, right? I know we have an ad starting in a little bit, so I'm going to do this really quickly so that everybody can watch it without any ads. To make Castle Oblivion, grab a shot glass. I'd suggest a big one like this. This one holds about 2 ounces, by the way. And I'm going to try to get this real close, because it's cool when it's up close. There we go. So the folks on the vertical can watch what we're doing. Ingredient number 1 is clarified mint chocolate chip cream liqueur, which is the mint chocolate chip cream liqueur that goes on top, clarified, and put on the bottom of the cocktail. We're going to fill that almost halfway. That's layer number 1. Layer number 2 is this bottle of creme de violet. It is a violet-flavored liqueur, like the flower, and we're going to layer that over top of the clarified spirit that lies beneath it. I'm going to need a stirring spoon for this, hopefully. I see Gloria saying, I'm already in the Discord. Oh, not necessarily you specifically. If anybody else is curious, that's where we'll find the information. Let's layer this over the top. Little creme de violet. We'll fill that almost all the way to the top. Almost all the way. There we go. 2 layers. 2 layers so far. Creme de violet is so tasty, by the way. It's very, very tasty. Try it in an aviation cocktail. Ooh, density. You're darn right, density. Come on, get a little closer. There we go. Keep focused on a cocktail angle. Keep focused for a little bit longer. Come on. Actually, I know how to trick it. There we go. Maybe. A little bit. A little bit. Please focus. Please focus, cocktail angle. You're doing so well. Hold on. This is where the cool part happens. I want to make sure that the thing focuses. Put you behind it. There we go. Now, let's put the unclarified mint cream liqueur on top of it. There's not much in the bottle. Gonna be very gentle with this. Okay, it's kind of falling down the side a little bit. But it looks better from this angle. Looks a little weird, right? It's a little fun looking. I love how it's not focused. Hold on a second. There we go. Wait, okay, if I put my fingers here... There we go. If I put my fingers here, it looks all right. What we've got here is a shot that plays around with density. It plays around with density in such a way that you can put the same ingredient on top as you do on the bottom, and you mix the layers in between. For this one, I will turn off the lights for a little bit. Alexa, turn off all the lights. And then I'll shine some light behind it, just to give a little bit of an angle. I know the ads are about to start. A little bit of backlight. Anyways. I assure you my photo shoot looks better. I promise you that. But this is the Castle Oblivion shot. Inspired by Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. And I will not be tasting it until after the ad break. Because I respect my Twitch folks that support our channel. Thank you. And I almost ran out of my mint chocolate chip cream liqueur. Alexa, turn on the bar lights. There we go. It knows what I'm talking about. I know there's ad breaks coming. I know they are. I know they're ad breaks. Come on, Twitch. And I'll talk a little... I won't talk a little bit about that, but I'll take some questions during the ad break. Because I know it's coming. I'll just put this on top of my stand over here. To prepare it, you know? After the pour, it keeps its form pretty well. Come on, Twitch. Where are the ads? I'm waiting. There it is. There's the ads. It's wild. I see Cole on YouTube saying it looks amazing. Nahivi on YouTube saying it looks like Jell-O. Matt says it looks great. Thank you. To be honest, this was, I'll admit, this is difficult to layer only because the density difference between the creme de violets and the mint chocolate chip cream is very, very small. The density difference is small, so they tend to want to combine together, but they tend to want to combine together in such a way that when done right, and I have good pictures up on the website, that the top layer begins to almost extend down like stalactites from the top layer down into the deeper darkness layers beneath. And I think that's really cool. It also tastes really good. It tastes really good, but we're not there yet. We gotta wait. I see Mad saying it looks more green from this angle. Yeah, right? That's also because, like, let's see, I've got purple behind it and brown and otherwise. This lighting does not do it justice. Here, actually, let me just pull it up and I'll just show you, you know? Because it's on the website. It'll eventually be on the Discord, and I could just go there now. So for those who are not watching the ads, you get a little sneak peek at the website, which is already live. So you're not really missing out on much. Cocktails, Castle, CameroxnWithAnX.com/cocktails/Castle -Oblivion. That's where I'm going. Bring the cocktail angle over. Bring it over. Look, it's my titty. Look, it's my card. And then look. It's how it looks under proper lighting. There we go. This is how it looks under proper lighting and better camera angles. Honestly, my phone is making it look kind of blue, so it's not really working very well anyways. It looks very blue on my phone. Anyways. Do I have another one? Yeah. There we go. Here's another one. There's another one. There we go. I take pictures of things. Look at the tendrils. To be perfectly honest, if you want drinks that really look nice and appetizing, go to the website. I do a little photo editing too to make them look really, really tasty. That one looks really, really tasty. Castle Oblivion. There we go. In any case, so we got like half a minute left until the ad break ends. Thank you all, by the way, for joining me for this wonderful cocktail showcase. This is a little bit less time than we usually spend on these showcases. We've been mixing cocktails for about an hour and a half now. Sometimes these tend to go a little bit longer, but it actually took a little bit more effort to create these cocktails in particular. And I tend to base these showcases not necessarily on the number of recipes that I have stocked up, but the amount of time that went into them. And so I appreciate y'all for joining me up to this point here. I love sharing these recipes with y'all. That being said, no matter where you're on, whether we're on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Discord or Twitch or wherever, I love playing video games. I love making cocktails, and that's why I combine the two things together. So if you've got ideas for what games to play and what drinks to make based off of the games, by all means, I am open to suggestions. I and the rest of our bartenders as well, which we got at least one other bartender with an X right now, who doesn't have any specific cocktails published as of yet, but I've been workshopping a couple things with her, and I'm really happy to say that I think we might have some creations from her very, very soon. In any case, everybody should be back from the ads now. So, this is a layered shot. Woo, excuse me. It's falling all over the place. This is a layered shot recipe inspired by Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and it's called Castle Oblivion. It's a layered shot that's got a layer of clarified liqueur, a layer of creme de violet, and a layer of unclarified cream liqueur on top. I don't know what you do for cheersing for Kingdom Hearts. Cheers to our memories. May they remain chained together until the day that we die. Ooh, that's tasty. Immediately, first thing you get, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Immediately fading into a sort of tart flower type flavor. Like, if you've ever had a hibiscus, it's kind of like hibiscus tea, a sour hibiscus tea, but instead of it being hibiscus, it's violet instead, because it uses a bit of creme de violet. It's a very fun combination of flavors. The texture is weird because it immediately hits you with this cold, minty sensation, and then immediately shifts to something that is sour in a way, but also minty at the same time. That's fun, and it warms me up a little bit too. That was a fun one. That's based off of this place, by the way, in Kingdom Hearts, Castle Oblivion. With that being said, most of these cocktails don't actually make it all the way down my gullet during these showcases. That was a shot, so it's all in there now. Let me put this off to the side, do a little cleanup. Oh my gosh, I see messages. What do we see? I see Cole saying, brought to you by CeraVe, Taco Bell, Best Buy, State Farm, McDonald's, Carfax, Dyson Headphones, MetaQuest, Netflix, and Kia.
My favorite part is this became a thing.
I actually love that. Like, unironically, like, to everybody who watches the ads on Twitch, I like that you tell me what the ads are because I can't watch them myself. So thank you for that, Twitch.
I love how you had McDonald's into Carfax.
Right? I see ESC Nerd saying, what's the longest time you've spent making one cocktail? The longest time I've spent making one cocktail.
Is that the workshopping or like?
Yeah, that's a good question. ES, do you mean like making a recipe for a cocktail, or how long it takes to actually make the drink? Because you could say that some of the drinks that I make require infusions and ingredients that do take a while to make. I mean, like on the order of a couple of days to create the ingredients, right? I'm actually working on a drink right now that uses an ingredient called, I'm about to butcher this, but it's called black limes. It's quite literally limes that have been dehydrated to the point where they become blackened. And that took 4 to 5 days of dehydrating in order to make the ingredients, and the cocktail doesn't even exist yet, right? I see ESC asking time spent to make one. I mean, some of these recipes, I don't like mix continuously, but some of these recipes take a couple weeks to make. Sometimes they come together in a night. I'm getting to that. Sometimes they take a couple months to put together. If I'm workshopping something, it just doesn't work until a point that I like it. So maximum time it took me to make a cocktail recipe, I don't know, a couple months or something, maybe like a month and a half. I'll say month and a half at max. Longest time it took for me to make a single cocktail in a way that was very unsatisfying was a cocktail called the Pumpkin Buck. It's something that we did for one of our pre-show drinks, not one of my own creation, but I made my own pumpkin soda based off of somebody's recipe. And I think we were sitting on the stream for 2 hours, I think, just to make a 2-ingredient cocktail. But again, it went into creating one of the ingredients, not necessarily the cocktail itself. If you're trying to ask for realsies, what is the longest time that you've spent making a single cocktail in one sitting where the ingredients isn't a factor in the amount of time it took to make the cocktail? Clarified drinks. And I'm gonna say probably Simple and Clean is up there because it's a clarified cocktail. And that's actually the only... Have I done any other clarified cocktails? Did I do clarified cocktails? My partner will sometimes remind me of the things that I do because I don't even remember what I do. Unless somebody else can correct me on this, I think the longest time it took for me to make a cocktail was Simple and Clean. For a single serving of cocktail, it took about an hour or so, an hour or two, continuously to make enough to drink because it had to clarify out the other side. And that one's up on the YouTube as a short. And luckily, with the power of editing, it does not take an hour to showcase how to make it. I think that's great. Anyways, I see Estrella saying we used to have a Kia, the car. Then we sold it. Now we have a no Kia, and now there's no Kia at all. That's a good one. That's a good one. You get a little back and forth on that one, Estrella. That's for my pleasure, not for anybody else's. Anyways, that's all the stuff I've got for y'all this evening. That is all the recipes. That is every single recipe I've got for y'all this evening. What? So that was it. We're already done. It's like an hour and a half.
How'd you do that?
Short stream. There wasn't a lot of drinks. Wasn't a lot of drinks, and they weren't super duper complicated to make. So there we are. So I'm gonna give you all a little rundown of exactly what we did, all the way from the beginning to the end. Excuse me. I just took a shot. It happens sometimes. And then we'll call it quits for now. I see Brad redeeming squats, so I have to do my squats. So I'll do my squats as hopefully a mod will send us back to the first recipe by using the next command.
Yay, mods!
Woo, go mods! Oh, actually, I gotta not squat for Riku. Don't spider your glasses. Don't spider your glasses. Come on, Riku. I'll resume my squats in a moment. Come on, Riku. I mean, replica Riku. There we go. You can't really see anything right now. And where's my spent shot glass? Wait a minute. I gotta go for it. There we go. That actually helped. There's a spent shot glass. And there's Castle Oblivion. There we go. Anyways. Quick, Mike, dude, make him do squats. It's true. If you're on Twitch, you can actually spend party hats to make me do random shit during my showcases. Okay, I humbly request. I want to go to bed. I'm just kidding. Nah, you're all good.
It's 9:30.
We're doing pretty good. It's actually very...
Still prepping for work.
Hecklers! My wife is a heckler!
Yes!
And I love her. I love her so much. I love that. Anyways, so I had 3 main recipes that I shared with y'all this evening. All of them inspired by Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Starting back up at the beginning, I've got a cocktail called Riku Replica. Riku Replica is a drink that is multi-layered. It's made with Aquafaba. The main flavor notes are blackberry and other deep red fruits, and it's got a float of red wine over top of it. It is kind of dark and a little bit bitter, kind of like Riku is, and the layers of purple to maroon to silver on top kind of looks like the character in a way. It kind of works like that, right? Oh my goodness. Let me go to the next recipe, which I have to go twice actually. Recipe, I think 2, 3, is that a thing? There we go. I can just skip right to it. For my next recipe, I showcase to y'all 2 drinks inspired by Naminé. One is a cocktail, and one is a mocktail inspired by the cocktail. Naminé is a mind manipulator. So Naminé's drink is a mind eraser that has been separated out into 2 layers with a blonde layer of coffee foam on top and a layer below that is normally clear, usually one with vodka and soda water and the other with a sweetened soda water that gels well with the cold brew foam that went on top of it. Now, normally I would make the foam with Xanthum Gum, which is in the recipe of the coffee foam, which is on another recipe card, but will absolutely be covered in every other resource that comes out after the fact. I forgot the Xanthum Gum, and if you do forget the Xanthum Gum, the layers begin to combine together and discolor the layer beneath. If you want proof that they stay separated, the good photos are up on the website, I promise you that. It's actually very nice. It gives me a flavor of almost like coffee ice cream in a way, and it's nice and balanced. The soda water being almost, the alcoholic one being kind of similar to a flavor of an espresso martini, but not as forward on those notes of espresso. And then for the mocktail version, it's kind of more coffee ice cream, a little less on the coffee though, but it depends on what cold brew you use or what coffee you use in this foam that will eventually degrade into the drink after the fact. Both Riku Replica and Naminé were both made using egg white vegan substitutes called Aquafaba, which is quite literally just chickpea juice. And you can make it by separating the chickpeas from the chickpea juice. And I had one other recipe, and I'll get through that in a hot second. I see, what did I miss? I'm gonna miss. Cole saying, Repriku. I see that. Anthony saying, why do people burp after shots? It happens to me too. I have no idea. Maybe it's just because I'm gassy all the time. Brad says, I've watched this man cat cow. I bet these knees drift. Probably, yeah, they definitely are. But you can't see them beneath my bar. And then, that kind of rhymed, actually. Cool. Estrella says, we should have a laugh track redeem. I guess you could say it's so delicious. So delicious. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the most delicious thing I've ever had. But, you get a mention of the slide whistle. It's close on that one. And then the last recipe I had this evening for y'all is recipe 5. I think it's 5, right? Recipe 5? Nope, I was close. Next. Recipe next. The last recipe I had for y'all this evening is a shot that I've already taken. It's called Castle Oblivion. It is quite literally a layer of clarified cream liqueur. Specifically this bottle of Old Smoky, but it can apply to literally any liqueur. Clarified layer on the bottom, a creme de violet layer in between, and a non-clarified layer on top. This shot works because of the density change that happens when you clarify a spirit by adding a little bit of lemon juice to it and letting the reaction take place. A lot of those fats are separated out of the solution, making it less dense than what it was when it originally came out of the bottle. This allowed us to create a contrasting flavors of sour and cream at the same time without any weird and undue curdling to appear, all with a layer of a floral sweetness in between. This one, I completely forgot to give you notes on why the recipe came to be, and honestly, this one was a tough one, because Castle Oblivion doesn't give you much to go off of aside from an appearance, and to me, the Castle Oblivion Sprite kind of looks like mint leaves, so I went with it, and as I was mixing with mint cream liqueur, I delved deeper into the kind of lore of Castle Oblivion and found that a small nuanced detail that the memory pods at the very end of the game kind of resemble lotus flowers. So I took the concept of mint and the concept of lotus/flower and put them together into a shot that had multiple layers to it, a little layer of darkness in between, as well as the green whatever miasma around, to try to make a shot inspired by it. It took a lot of effort, and I took inspiration, so that's why that one actually happened, right? I see Estrella saying, thanks for clarifying that for us. All right, that was a good one. That was a really good one. Raven, good to see you. It's unfortunate you're popping in so late because we're about to end things over here because I'm all done. I'm all cocktail streamed out. I did it. I got everything. So thank you, everybody, very much for watching. I see, oh, what is that? Brad, that's so kind of you. Look at that. We love seeing people be kind to each other. Brad, one of our mods, has gifted 45 subs on this channel so far, and has just gifted another one to Estrella. That was a good one. Actually, we usually don't end things this early, and it looks like we actually do have quite a bit of a crowd here. So, like, I'll do a little bit of cleanup over here. I'll do some of my cleanup work that I usually do after the stream is over. If y'all have questions on cocktail mixology, or mocktail mixology, or just drinks in general, I'll be happy to like answer any questions that you may have on that, as well as take some suggestions as well. In general, listen, it's not like I've been doing cocktail mixology for a long time, but my repertoire of knowledge and the things that I get to do because of the resources that I have allotted to me here at the Bar with an X are ever growing on a daily basis. So if you're curious about what clarifying a certain liqueur would be like, I would be happy to put that to test for you. If you've never tried the combination of, I'm gonna put 2 random ingredients. There's a Swampert on the wall, so I'm gonna go with, actually not muddy water. I'm gonna go with almond because there's a squirrel on my wall, and there's something that says dragon on the other one, so let's go fire. If you were curious of what the heck the combination of almond liqueur and spicy habanero pepper tincture would be and how you can make it into a cocktail, that's something I would love to go through and actually do some detailing on. But in general, I got some tips and tricks that I'd love to share with y'all if you got questions on it. So with that, this is officially the end of the cocktail stream. I am done showcasing my recipe. I'm going to begin cleaning up. I usually don't do this on camera, but I feel like I kind of teased y'all with a very short stream, so I'll stick around for a little bit longer, right? Unless y'all aren't cool with that, in which case we'll raid somebody, we'll move on, and everything will be just fine. I won't take offense to it. I see Nahivi saying, this was a good one, see you next week. Oh, it'll be great. And then next week, by the way, on Monday, we're going to keep playing through Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories because we're not done with the game yet. And then after we're done with that, you'll see the backdrop change as we magically move on to Kingdom Hearts 2. Magic. I see Brad saying, what's the second best piece of cocktail advice you have ever been given? Piece of cocktail advice? Ooh. Second best piece of cocktail advice. The first piece of cocktail advice I got from a book called Liquid Intelligence, and it's about ice and water and dilution and temperature, which all comes down to ice. It's how to properly use ice. Ice Actually, that was the first thing. Ice is really great. Dilute things, chill things, make things colder. Make your cocktails colder. Second best piece of advice is that you should... I'm trying to think of the pieces of advice I've gotten specifically. It's also kind of got... It's kind of having to do with ice, to be perfectly honest. What's another really good one? I'm trying to think about that. I'm trying to think. I'm having a really hard time thinking about this. Let me get back to you on that one, Brad. I see Anthony saying, please make a pickled margarita. I will reach out about sending the Alpha Omega wine. I would love it if you tried it. I'd be happy to, my guy. Cole saying, it was amazing being here and watch your stream, Cam. It was very fun. Thank you. Brad saying, not the best one. I know. God, I'm trying to think of what the second best piece of advice. Ice is super important. And the lack thereof, by the way. The other thing, let's say second best piece of advice. It's also about temperature. It's about specifically chilling your glassware. I don't, something about serving things without ice when you don't put ice in your glass after the fact, like for example the Riku cocktail, like if you use a chilled glass, the cocktail stays colder for longer. And what colder temperatures do to the drink in general, it takes away some flavors like the bite of alcohol or the sweetness of your syrups and brings forth some other flavors to come to the forefront, which I think is kind of cool. You can have a really, this kind of goes back to the ice thing again, but instead of just chilling and diluting, let's say chilling your glassware, because I think that one's pretty cool. Naminé and Naminé. I usually, if you want to know what I do with these cocktail recipes after the stream's done, I dump them. The bucket gets them. This is how it happens. I dump all these drinks. I think this was the non-alcoholic one. Yeah, that was non-alcoholic, but it's got caffeine. And I go to sleep after these things. Might actually hang out a little bit longer, to be perfectly honest. I'm actually having a lot of fun here. I see Astray saying, Brad. Yes, you were talking to Brad on that one. In any case, put this guy on a coaster, fold my guy up, do a little wipe down. We're powering down the bar for the evening. We're all done. Very early cocktail stream. I have leftover bottles of Topo Chico, so I'm just gonna put them in a spare container so I can keep my sparkling water for later. This is a lot of fun, y'all. I really love doing this stuff with y'all. And I'm trying to have more opportunities to just kind of sit around and chat a little bit more with y'all, so... Because I like sharing this stuff. And I like sharing it with other people, too. Spare funnel. Let's save our soda water. And if we're careful about it, we won't actually decarbonate the whole thing. I use the glass bottles for appearances. And then put the rest of them in the plastic bottle. I see Cole saying, hey, you should do a quick mixed shot of all the cocktails. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Vetoed. Because I dumped half of them already. You should have made that suggestion earlier, Cole! Under normal circumstances, I'd be like, oh, totally. What is that, consumption? Oh, absolutely, Annie. I'm going after Riku again. This one's my favorite drink of the evening, by the way. I love that Sambuca together. There's almost like, I'm getting like cola notes off of it too. That's weird. Diamond's back, but we're basically towards the end. If I don't get enough questions, I'm ending it. I'm threatening you all with a good time. I see ESC Nerd asking, how often do you go live? New viewer here. I'm live every Monday and Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. America just went back from daylight savings time, so you'd have to do a bit of the conversions. And I know you said you were in Australia earlier. Without giving away exactly what your location is, what time is it for you now? And I can tell you what time it would be for you when the streams actually happen. Australia is a big place, so I think it's all good. And actually, Alexa, does Australia have multiple time zones? Five time zones? Oh my gosh. 5 time zones? Wow. I think in America we've only got 4. That's kind of wild, actually. I've learned something new today. I see Diamond saying I made apple juice earlier, and now I got paste. Paste? Anything I can do with that? Paste? Like apple paste? You can put it on sandwiches. If I had apple paste, I'd put it on a sandwich, personally. Mix it with a bit of peanut butter, unless you're allergic to peanuts, in which case, cashew butter. I feel like that would go really, really well together. But if you want to drink it, you can combine anything with soda water, and if it's not sweet enough, add some syrup to it, some sugar to it. I think that'd be cool. Or actually, a little bit of, if you had apple stuff, you can also add things to tea too. Like, whereas you would put honey in your tea, you could put other sweet things in your tea. I've done that before with... What did I do? I think it was a lemon oleosaccharum, and I put it in my tea. It was alright. It was pretty good. I see Coal Mine saying, I'm sorry, next Wednesday, somebody remind me that when he has all the shots to tell him... Well, next Wednesday, we're not doing another cocktail showcase. Cocktail showcases happen pretty much whenever I have enough recipes for them. So if you want to know when cocktail showcases happen, where we're just at the bar and we're not playing video games, join on YouTube, because I've been putting those messages on the community tab, and come into the Discord where I give even more details on that stuff. That's where I would suggest you go for that. I see ESC Nerd saying it's 1:50 p.m. here. So if it's 1:50 p.m. for you right now, it is 9:50 p.m. for me. So it looks like that would be noon. Noon for you. That's actually kind of cool. I didn't realize that I am at midday in certain areas of the world. That's so cool. I love hearing where the viewers are coming from, because it's a completely different perspective than what I got. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that, ES. And thanks for viewing, by the way. This is cool. If you don't mind me asking, ES, because you're over in Australia and you strike me as a person who is at least vaguely interested in cocktails, what kind of spirits can you get on Australia that you can't get elsewhere? I was actually trying to do research for this earlier, like a month or so ago, and I came up with nothing. I couldn't figure out if there was anything quote-unquote special in Australia. I'm sure there's plenty of things, but you'd be a better judge of that than I would. I see Gagalton saying, Eastern Mountain, Central, West, and Hawaii, we've got 5. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. I remember because we actually went to Alaska on our honeymoon, and when we were in Alaska, it was a different time zone than Canada, where we took off from, but you're right, I forgot about Hawaii. Good call there, good call. A time zone for every single thing, I see that. I see Diamond saying, I could use bread to make makeshifty apple pies. It's 10 a.m. for Diamond. 10 a.m. Man. 2 hours away from, no wait, it's 10 a.m. for you. Oh, you're like you're like 12 hours away, dude. Diamond, is it a Wednesday for you or a Thursday for you? It must be a Thursday for you, right? That's actually incredible. I love that. What else do I gotta do for cleanup over here? Yeah. I'll walk you through my whole process. I'm gonna make y'all sit here. And then I'll end the live stream. I'm gonna go get my cleaning equipment. Now we're just chilling out. I also need to clean up my refrigerator because I completely took out a bunch of things specifically to make space for other stuff. So, this is my bar with an X, by the way. This is a little furniture thing that we've got for free for some rich people in New Jersey who are just giving it away. And I try to make sure that it keeps up. I should really restain this thing, but I haven't had the time to. So instead, I just put a little wood varnish on it just to make sure things look nice and fresh. Nice and fresh. I see ESC saying, I actually can't think of anything that we have that wouldn't be available there. We do have some fine damn wines. That's true. I have seen wines in the Premier collection here over in Philadelphia, and I don't think I've actually had an Australian wine before. What grapes? Zinfandel, I think, comes from Australia, right? Maybe? I don't know. I see Anthony saying, please do clean up every stream. Do clean up every single stream? I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste everybody's time. In case like you have like questions or things that you want to chat about, like that's what the Discord server is for. I'm there literally all the time. I answer whatever questions you may have, and honestly, if I'm being the honest one, I'm not the expert. We have other bartenders, other mixologists in our Discord server. It's kind of a small little community for like mixologists and cocktail mixologists, no matter what your skill level is. I'm always trying to find new techniques of stuff, new ingredients to put together, and it would be an absolute pleasure to be able to literally travel the world one day and do all of this stuff and bringing y'all with me. But right now, just in my little apartment here in Philadelphia, the Grand Keystone State, so I'm having fun with that. Stephanie, welcome in, good to see you. I see Estrella asking, do you have any pets with an X, Cameron? I have plants, and every time I name my plants, they die. So they are unnamed orange trees. And they're doing okay. One of them died already. But I didn't kill it. I didn't kill the plant. Somebody else did. So I blame them. I'll put it in my refrigerator with an X back together. And I'm gonna take my garbanzo beans out. And that closed properly. Great. Awesome. Somebody was asking earlier, I made Aquafaba. just right here. And there's some chickpeas left over. I'm probably gonna make this into hummus. I'll put it in the food channel on the Discord so I don't forget about it. Let's see. I'm gonna recork my wine because otherwise it's gonna go weird. So actually, what was it? Anthony, were you the who was talking to me about the wine stuff? I can't remember who it was. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. I'm sure you know already that to preserve wines and make them last longer, use a little bit of inert gas and put it on top of them to prevent them from oxidizing. Do that with vermouths. Do it with vermouths as well. By the way, I'm going into my closet with an X. My closet with an X has more liquor. And it does. I got a cork. What I'm looking for. Wine stopper. There you are. Got it. I got it. Don't worry, Chad. I got it. I got you. I got you. Cork, catch it. Got it. Anyways. I see, yes, it was Anthony. Thank goodness I got that right. I get so tongue-tied and twisted. There we go. Put a little bit of that in there, seal it off, and I can enjoy some nice wine for later. I'm gonna be honest. So this bottle of 19 Crimes I got when I started workshopping Riku, I think it was like a week or two ago. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been tasting it. It's still really good. It has lost very little flavor. Full transparency on these streams. But I'll just keep that down here. What else did I miss? I see ESC saying, I don't believe we have any native grapes here, but if you find Penfold's Grange, definitely try it. Penfold's Grange. Can I have somebody on the Twitch side write Penfold's Grange so I don't forget the name of that grape? And by the way, the only reason I say do it on Twitch is not because I'm trying to tell everybody, oh, come to the better live streaming platform, because it's not really. It's just that's the only place where the bot is integrated. And that's because I do most of the programming for it. I have mods that help out too. But we're still working on it. Still working on it. I see Cole saying, come join in, take a seat, grab a drink, make some friends at the Discord, the party lounge with an X here. One spot stop, like-minded individuals. Penfold's Garage, thank you, Cole. But you gotta put exclamation point suggest in front of it. But also Annie says Twitch is better. Hey, everybody's got an opinion. I dig that, I dig that. Upper Diamond saying, apple juice still has some parts of apple in it. Probably should get a thinner strainer. Well, if it's got pulp in it, you could use a strainer. But if it's got if it's cloudy, then you're gonna either need to use a coffee strainer or you'll need to use more advanced techniques of clarification. And actually, only because you brought it up, there is an enzyme that we'll use for very specific clarifications, and it's called Pectin X Ultra SPL that breaks apart the pectin, which is a component that is in cell walls of most fruits, to be honest. This is great if you're trying to make clarified strawberry juice, clarified papaya juice, clarified a lot of different juices. If it's a very tough fruit, use enzyme on it, and it should clarify, kind of like the mint cream liqueur, but without any excess, without any extra citrus added to it. If you like blend up strawberries and add pectin to the blender, it will naturally separate out, and you'll have a very clear and a very red and a very tasty strawberry syrup up the other side. And you could be doing that with apple stuff too. What else have I missed? Estrella asks, what is mulled wine? I think there's some history behind wine, but mulled wine in particular is a wine that you tend to heat. I think it's mostly red wines from what I've seen, but I don't think there's aside from wine that's been heated with spices. That's what a mulled wine is to me. It's a wine that's been heated with spices. I'm sure nobody's gonna stop you from doing a white mulled wine. Red wines, even wines that are made from fruits. I'm working on a cherry wine, actually, with some friends of mine over across the border. And when I say border, I just mean New Jersey, not anywhere else. But somebody asked me the other day, like, could we put spices in this? I was like, yeah. There's nothing stopping us from doing so. We can do whatever we want to. Let's see what else I got going on over here. I'm almost done. I wanted to show you all. I completely forgot the Xanthum Gum from earlier, but this is the brand that I got from my local Whole Foods, and it's pretty good. What else am I missing? Dude, actually, this was a pretty good cleanup. Oh, I forgot about my foams. I can't forget about my EC whippers. Cannot. We found the bar. Leave the bar the way that we found it. Clean. Clean and beautiful, just like the rest of us. I see Estrella asking, what happened to the old one? Huh? I'm not sure I understand. Let's see. Yeah, I still got the rest of these foams. I'm not going to use the rest of these foams. So instead, here, you know what? Y'all can see it. I don't think the bucket has ever been on the bar before. Here. Oh, this is the bucket. The bucket's name is Taylor. There we go. What is this? Consumption foam. I got you. I'm not putting it in my mouth. It's currently pressurized. Here we go. Oh, see, it's degraded a little bit. I should have shook it. It degrades in the container. It should have been refrigerated. There we go. Still some, can you see that? There's still some foam in here. This is the alcoholic one. That's a good one. Ephris, look at you storming my bar. At the very end, too. We're almost done, y'all. We're actually just cleaning up over here, despite what things may look like. Ephris, how are y'all today? What were y'all doing? What were y'all doing over there? How was your stream?
Then you go back, kid.
Robo Kitty, welcome to the bar. Welcome to the bar with an X. It's so good to see you.
Well,
What did I miss out there? I see, what was it? I saw Anthony laughing at something, Cole saying good options for mulled wine, Zinfandel, Pinot Noir, Tempranillo, Sangiovese. Cole, you're basically just listing out all the wine grapes.
and then you go back.
Excuse me, Narwhal Bean.
Well.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you very much.
I hope I don't run out of seats. Welcome, everybody, to the bar with an X. Afris, I hope your stream was absolutely wonderful. Y'all were playing backyard baseball. Dude, I remember the backyard. Is that the... Did that game used to be a CD-ROM from, like, the late 90s or early 2000s? Because if it is, I think I did the backyard, like, skating game when I was a child. That is so cool, dude. That's so awesome. It is? It is? No way, Afris. That's so cool. It's from 97. Wow. Dude, you just brought back a wave of nostalgia to me. I used to play the skateboard game at my friend's house, who lived, oh my god. Like, man, it was the person I went to school with when I was a kid. Oh my goodness, that's wild. God, what did I miss? ESC was saying Penfolds Grange is one of Australia's most favorite wines. Famous wines. That's really cool. So, to everybody who just popped in, it's good to see you, Afris. Good to see everybody who popped the follow as well, and all the new faces around here as well. Welcome to the bar with an X, spelled X-B-A-R, where the X is supposedly silent. It's ridiculous, I know. Where we make drinks and cocktails inspired by the video games that we play. Currently, I've been playing some Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, and you actually caught me during my cocktail showcase, where I showcased 3 different recipes for 3 different things in the game. We had a recipe for the Riku Replica, a recipe for Naminé, and a recipe for, it was a shot actually, for Castle Oblivion. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you came to the right place. And I don't usually clean up, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm cleaning up because we did a lot less long than we usually do. Oh, what I miss? Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff happening. Adaska saying it was a train wreck. It's on Steam for $10 apparently. And Annie's saying, oh, drop the Replica drink. You're right. I still have one of the drinks back here. I didn't dump this one yet because this is what I've been sipping on. This was the Riku Replica, which I can do if where's the button? That's not the right cocktail. Can I have a mod do exclamation point next? I'm a little indisposed right now, and then the recipe will be up on the screen. Anyways, I see Robo saying, it looks very pretty. It's very good. And Diamond saying that you can stand. Diamond, are you okay? Coffee is done. Very good. What else am I missing over here? This is great. Brad talk about Tempranillo wine, dry stone fruits, tobacco weed. Never had. Oh, I had it once actually. I took a wine class in college. Man, that sounds so much fun. Even though the stream was allegedly a train wreck, can anything really be a train wreck if you're looking at it through the lens of it came from the 90s and that's okay? Because I feel like it'd be great anyways. That's really good. Well, it sounds like y'all had an absolutely wonderful time, as Afris tends to do. I'm not much of a talker on streams, but I tend to lurk in some places every once in a while when I'm workshopping recipes, which has been a lot more common than it used to be, now that I do this partly as a job. So I have these pressurized containers here, and I'm trying to make sure that they're all cleaned out, so I'm going to depressurize them into the bucket, and this is what it looks like. Loud sound warning. That's one of them. Now we gotta do the other one. It's getting a little goopy. What's a little goopy in there? That's what happens. What did I miss? I see Afra saying the opposing team kept getting triple plays, which like never happens. Wait, really? They really? I would say they dunked on you, but this isn't basketball. That's hilarious. I see Diamond saying you were talking about running out of seats at the bar. Oh, you can stand. It's fine. I see. I got you, Diamond. I got one other container. And actually, let me take the canister off of this. These were nitrogen canisters to pressurize things, which we were using for a coffee foam. There we go. I got one more. One more loud sound warning. Got you. Toss it. Got it. Put that in here. Narwhal being like me after the Taco Bell hits. Get ready for this one. Taco Bell number 2. Loud sound warning. Attaboy. Get it out. Better out than in. That's what Shrek always says. All right, that's pretty much all cleaned off. Now that these are depressurized, we can safely unscrew them. Ugh, come on. I screwed them on real good, because I'm smart like that. That's so funny. I see Anthony saying, how often do you clean Taylor? Every single stream. Taylor is probably one of the most underpaid workers at the Bar with an X, because Taylor is a bucket made of plastic, and I don't think that I need to give Taylor a paycheck because, to my knowledge, Taylor doesn't need it. I've been wrong before, though, and I'd love to be proven wrong. That's a really bad reasoning, says my dearest from the distance. Could you hear her from the stairs? Yeah, come on, there we go. Oh my gosh, that one was grosser somehow. So let's see, this one had, actually I can't even tell what was in this anymore. I scooped off the label. It was fun. This is actually really fun, y'all. I don't usually stick around after these cocktail streams and do some cleanup. I think I might do this more often. If y'all are down for it, I'll do it. I'm having a lot of fun chatting with y'all. To be fair, I don't do a lot of, like, just chatting stuff. Also, I have that like performers like mentality where like I always feel like there has to be something going on. So I don't tend to do these things as often as I might, you know? Let's see. I see Diamond saying that thank goodness my earphones aren't plugged in. Thank goodness for you, Diamond. Brad says I've seen the Bar with an X when we don't stream. Taylor still gets cleaned always, always, indeed. Taylor has a family, man. Taylor has a family, man. Hey. If Taylor has a family, Anthony, I have not seen the family. I don't think we've ever had a mini bucket here on stream. I'm gonna need to clean my bar again because I just got whatever the hell was coming out of those containers out of them. That's hilarious. Taylor needs a face if she's gonna be on camera more often. True, I would show you all my other adopted son, Blender with an X. We call him Blen. Blender's got a face, but actually, here's a funny story, y'all. I almost killed Blenderx. I almost killed him. So those limes that I said I was making, dried limes to generate a cocktail. Oh my God, are you bringing our boy? We brought our boy. It's Blenderx. Thank you, my dear. This is Blenderx, the blender. I almost completely killed Blenderx's head because I put the equivalent of rocks inside of a blender. Don't do it. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Basically, I was drying out some limes, and they were drying for 4 to 5 days, so they were basically solid as a rock. And I was like, I bet Blenderx could blend these up. And when I did, I had to stop midway through because I saw pieces of plastic chipping off into my stuff. And I was like, wait, great, I gotta scrap this. So, be careful. I grinded it up with one of those, like, a nut smacker things. I don't know what you call it. It's like a nutcracker, but you slam it with your hand. And Blenderx was just fine afterwards. It was very good. Not my son, says Robbo. Adopted. We love him. I see ES saying, thanks, chat and Cameron. Time to head off to work. Catch you next time. Oh, ES! I don't know if I acknowledge your comment in the right amount of time, but I'm so happy that you popped in. Greetings to Australia, and thank you for tuning in to the Bar with an X. I see, let's see, what did I miss? Love the face on Blender. It's one of my own creation. What kind of father would almost kill their Blender child? One who's a first-time father, Diamond. First-time father. Dojer saying, so was Kingdom Hearts just for today, or is that every day? So right now what we're doing to answer your question, Dojer, is what we do at the Bar with an X, for the most part, is we'll play a game, and we will do a pre-game cocktail before we get into the game for the day, usually not one of my own creation, and then we'll play the game after the fact. As we progress through the game, I'll get bits of inspiration for drinks and cocktails, and so while we play the playthrough, I'll workshop the recipes, and at some point, I will have enough recipes that I want to do a showcase like this, where I will just share with the recipes with y'all. Every single one of these drinks comes with a corresponding, like, way too long to read blog post on the Cameron with an X website. The Kingdom Hearts ones, these ones, are in the link of the YouTube, but they're not public on the website yet. It just takes a little while.
back to-
Bob,
How
welcome
are
to the
you?
bar.
Then go
With an
back.
X. It's fun.
Quite well.
It's very fun.
Thank you very much.
And I also saw, what did I miss too? Oh, okay. I got some stuff. I thought I was behind on my alerts. What was I saying? Yeah, it's everything you ever wanted to know about how these drinks came to be. And more. Blenderx looks traumatized. He is. Eras. I learned the same lesson you did. Oh yeah, about putting rocks in a blender. I see Dojer saying Yakuza and do the Japanese scotch and whiskey tasting. Oh, that'd be interesting. Is that actually in the game? I've never played Yakuza before. If anybody does have suggestions of drinks we should make, or otherwise, I implore you, either put it in a comment somewhere. There's some things on the YouTube where there's threads every once in a while. Join the Discord and put in the suggestions channel, or come to Twitch and do !suggest, because I'm really bad at remembering things. And that's to hold me accountable. Because I don't want to forget anything that anybody tells me that I should be doing on this stream. Real quick, I'm going to put my Xanthum Gum away. I'm going to pack things up over here. I guess we'll pass the love to somebody else, because I'm all done. I've got everything done. For the most part. I'm putting my Xanthum Gum away in my closet. The closet's where I keep all the good stuff. Not really. That's not necessarily true. Right now, there's also an inventory up on the CameroxnWithAnX website as well that tells you all the bottles that I've got back here. It's not completely caught up yet. I haven't even gotten through the back of the bar. There's like twice as much behind the bar as there is in that closet over there, so I've got my work cut out for me. Let's see. I see Bob Boulevard saying, hey man, can I get an East Side or a basil smash? Dude, if I had basil, I had a basil plant, Bob. But I killed it because I named it Lisa, which is basil spelled backwards with a silent B. So I don't have basil, unfortunately. What's in an East Side, though? I don't know what an East Side is. What else we got here? Robo saying, what games are you thinking of tackling next? Kingdom Hearts and Unannounced. You have to stick around for more on that one. Doger saying, it's not in the game, but that's what they drink, naturally, scotch. I've always wanted to do, I've never done a specific highball on the stream before, specifically a scotch highball. I had my first homemade scotch highball the other day. It was okay. I don't think I made it very well. I see Narwhal saying Portal, right? Cole asking how everybody's night has been. It's great for me. I've been the one drinking. Robo saying you could also play Tiger's Honey Hunt and a mead-inspired drink. I got mead. I've got mead. I'd like to get more meads, but I've got the what do I got? It's the Viking's Blood. Viking Blood from Dankstmjord. And I've also tried to make mead too. I was mentioning before that we were making cherry wine, and I was trying to get us to do mead first, but when I was looking at prices for mead, they were astronomical. The honey was astronomical. So we haven't done mead yet. I see Doger saying also you can visit the bars and copy the cocktails. Oh, in Yakuza? That's so cool. What else we got here? Diamond saying move to Twitch just in time for the raid. Brad saying good to Cole. Oh, Tigger's Honey Hunt. Oh, the Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I love that idea, Robo. Narwhal saying drink it and suddenly your stomach is going at Mach 2. What Portal? I like the idea. So we've done back in March. I don't think it was March of this year. I think it was it March of this year? No, it was March of last year, actually. We did a stream where I just got a whole stream where I was just getting suggestions from the community. We were doing some workshopping of drinks together. I'd love to do some more things on the stream where collectively, like together, I don't have a template for a cocktail yet. I'm not showcasing the recipe with you. Instead, we're making the recipe together and pulling all the inspiration that you've got from the game, all the inspiration that I've got from the game, or even a game that I have absolutely no inspiration from, because I love the idea of taking things that are abstract and bringing them down, distilling them down into something that is drinkable with the knowledge that I have about cocktail mixology and the knowledge that you have about the video games that you love the most. So I want to do that. And if you all would watch it and tune in for it, I'm down for it, right? Let's see. I see Bob saying, Google it, East Side, gin-based. It's famous, the East Side gin-based. Let's do it. The only side I know is a citywide. Oh, that's not a side, right? Eastwide cocktail. Eastwide cocktail. I'm learning about new recipes all the time, Bob. I appreciate you. Eastwide cocktail. Eastside is a refreshing gin-based drink. Cucumber, mint, lime juice, and simple syrup. Oh, it's cucumber-based. That's probably why I don't know about it. Man, 2 slices. So, for those of you who want to make an Eastside cocktail, at least according to aflavorjournal.com, 2 slices of cucumber, 7 mint leaves, 2 ounces or 59 milliliters of gin, 3/4 of an ounce or 22 milliliters of simple syrup, 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of fresh lime juice. Simple syrup is equal parts water and sugar by weight. They don't specifically say that, but you should. Actually, ooh, hello there. A flavor journal says make simple syrup by combining a half a cup of sugar and a half a cup of water. I would recommend equal by weight. So 100 grams of sugar to 100 milliliters of water, so that things are a little more consistent because the density is different. Basically, small coupe glass in the freezer, chill your glass, 2 slices of cucumber, add mint leaves, but you don't muddle the mint leaves, gin, simple syrup, and lime juice, and then shake it together, double strain it out in the coupe glass. It's kind of cool. I like that. Cucumber gin. I've seen that combo before. That's pretty good. I got a cucumber gin. I got this bottle of cucumber jalapeno tequila that I literally have no idea what to use. That'd be fun one of these days. Let's see. Cole saying, I'm glad to hear doing good for Brad. Diamond saying, had the recording done way back in January and forgot about it for Diamond. What are we talking? Speaking of Portal, I gotta make my video on that. Oh, you played Portal? Oh, share it with us in the self-promote there, Diamond. I would love to watch that. Afra saying, I need to make a spicy Spyro, the dragon-related drink. It's already a Spyro drink? Low-key, y'all. I'm actually really happy that you basically begged me to keep the stream going. Basically, he says sarcastically and a little facetiously. I'm learning a bunch of stuff. There's a Spyro drink? A spicy Spyro. Spicy Spyro drink. Please don't be lying to me, Afris. Please don't be lying to me. Oh, is it the G Fuel? Sugar-free, healthy drink, fruit-flavored energy. Interesting. Afris said, I need one. I don't make anything other than major life mistake. I was gonna say I think my major life mistake was, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. We made, speaking of major life mistakes, I completely forgot. On Monday, we combined white chocolate macadamia cookies with Jepson's Malort, and I clarified it. And it came out clarified. I had to cheesecloth it. I had to filter it like twice.
You had to add vodka.
I added a little bit of vodka just to fortify it a little bit because I didn't know it was shelf stable or not, but I have a little bit of it. So I'll take a try of that one, you know. I see Robo saying, gotta do an apocalyptic game and only use ingredients found in the great game. Robo, I unironically love that idea. Excuse me, I'm a little refluxy from the sour elements of the drink. Happens sometimes. Always make sure to hydrate. Anyways, but I love the idea of making our own ingredients, making our own infusions, making our own spirits maybe one day. Poseidon willing. We'd love to do stuff like that. And in an apocalyptic world, you have to make them all on your own. And I think that's freaking cool. I see Brad say, "This is such a great short. I want Cookie Malort." So actually, y'all want me to taste this? So this is quite literally 2 white chocolate macadamia cookies that have been mushed up with, I think, 100 milliliters or about like 4 ounces, 4 to 5 ounces of Malort. I added a little bit of vodka to it. I think I added like an ounce of vodka to it. It smells like cookies, but oh my gosh. Ooh. It is sweet. And then it immediately smacks you in the face with bitter. It's sweet and then bitter. It's weird because that's one of those flavor combinations that it tastes different on one part of the palate than it does on the back part of the palate. It's sweet on the front part of my palate, but it's bitter on the back part of my palate. So
I can tell you why.
Why is that?
Because
this is the doctor speaking, by the way. Oh, the recipe card.
nerves.
Hold on, the recipe card. There we go.
Oh, I wasn't going on.
That's okay. You don't have to. No pressure.
I'm.
No pressure. No pressure. What do you got? Share your wisdom.
So there is 2 nerves that give you taste buds.
Okay.
The front 2/3 I believe are sour and sweet, and the back nerve is. Check
that out.
Oh my god! I used to know this because it was stupidly on my test.
You got it.
No, I don't
you need a drink pick me up? I can pour you vodka straight in your mouth.
No, but basically you have 2 nerves and
Denied.
They correspond to different taste buds.
Apparently, that's the reason why. I didn't know that.
Welcome.
For those of you who are not familiar with Anna with an X, aka Disney Queen, she's my beautiful partner, wife and beloved. She's also a doctor of physical therapy.
I'm really annoyed. I can't remember the names.
That's okay. What do we see? I see Afris saying Fallout related. Only use Yao Guai meat and Med X. Dude, Afris, think about this. Meat cocktails? There's a bar here in Philadelphia called Andre Hem. Me and Brad love it. Me and More Than Awesome. And I had a lamb Hatton there for the first time, which was, to my knowledge, either lamb washed or a lamb spice washed, bourbon, I think, bourbon or rye. I don't remember from the menu. Can't remember at the top of my head, but it tasted like lamb and vermouth, and it was really, really good. So meat washing, not a new concept around here. I've never done a meat. Oh no, I have done a meat wash. I've done bacon washing before here on the stream. That was a while back, but Dominic, good to see you again. How y'all doing? I see, what else am I missing? Also, I'm missing, Robo saying sounds amazing. Sending a sneak peek in the Discord for Diamond. Oh, thank you. Annie says this is not medical advice for chat. Bring the mic closer. Oh,
That was probably because I'm off.
well, actually, no, what I can do is, if you want to speak, just remind me. I can turn the gain up. Speak.
Hi.
Can y'all hear Anna clearly now? Speak.
But I'm tired.
Okay, you don't have to. I'm turning the gain back down. Afra says yes. Oh, excellent. Dominic's saying yeah too. That's great. It's cool to have a microphone that you can adjust the gain on. It's great. Afra saying liquid lamb jerky. Right? That could be fun, right? Good tech test with the gain. Yeah, great. I'm glad to hear it. Actually, I turned the gain down recently because my voice is freaking loud, y'all. I was clipping out the microphone. Y'all, this is all I got for y'all. I don't have any more recipes tonight. This was the end of one of our cocktail showcases here at the Bar with an X. I'm gonna call it here. This was a lot of fun. And I appreciate all y'all for joining me until, I'd call it the bitter end, mostly because I took a little taste of that Malort cookie infusion thing, so it is indeed the bitter end. This was a lot of fun. I gave y'all some recipes tonight for Riku Replica, a blackberry sour-based drink that combines the flavors of anise-forward black Sambuca, a little bit of dark notes from some rum, as well as blackberry syrup into a drink that had a couple layers and remained very tasty until the very end with the red wine that we floated on top of it. I had recipes for Naminé, which is a mind eraser drink, which is usually coffee liqueur, vodka, and club soda, but the club soda and vodka were separated from the coffee, which took the form of a foam. I gave y'all a cocktail as well as a mocktail recipe for those who choose not to imbibe in alcohol, which is totally cool with me. I also shared with y'all a recipe for the Castle of Illusion shot, which is a layered shot that takes a cream liqueur on top, clarifies it to introduce a difference of density that's great enough to fit a little layer of creme de violet in between the sour mint layer on the bottom and the creamy mint layer up on top. And if you want pictures of that, I encourage you to go onto the CameroxnWithAnX website, where there are very, very good pictures and every single piece of detail that you didn't want to know about the drinks and how they came to be, including workshopping, inspiration notes, and everything else we've had here at the Bar with an X. I had a great time. And I hope to see you all again on Monday, where we continue our playthrough of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, and then subsequently eventually going into Kingdom Hearts 2, where we'll also be developing more drinks. So thank you everybody so much. I see Dominic saying my microphone is gone. I don't think it is. I think we're doing okay. I think we're good. Never mind. Good stuff. Sense and Diamond, Afros with the cheers. Goodbye. And away we go. Thank you everybody so much. If you are watching from a locale where the sun is shining, have a wonderful rest of your morning or day or afternoon. For me, the night is here, so I'm gonna have a wonderful rest of my night. To everybody out there, cheers until the next stream. I look forward to it, y'all. But until then,